I'd love to serve as a resource for you. Visit wentworthteam.kw.com and let's start your home journey the right way.
Start the year moving, not hurting. If your joint pain has been slowing you down, then listen up. There is a way to get real relief without surgery, without downtime, and without putting your life on hold. Dr. Ashley Caravelli and her team at QC Kinetics here in Milwaukee offer regenerative treatments designed to help your body repair the areas causing pain. Knees, hips, shoulders, or back, wherever it hurts. Instead of an invasive operation that takes you out of commission for months, these treatments are done right in the office. You walk in, you walk out, and you get on with your day. No 3 to 6 months recovery. Picture this instead. You're moving better, you're feeling stronger, actually planning the year that you want because you finally took care of that pain the smart way. Game-changing regenerative treatment from QC Kinetics. January is your clean slate, so make it count. Call now for your free consultation at QC Kinetics. Call 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
This is Bryan Bulaga. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN.
94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin. Here's Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, and Brad Nortman.
It is still a great day to be alive on this Monday. Kyle Brust and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. My name is Ben Brust. Alongside me, repping the green and gold, the Packer backer, Kyle Wallace. Say something, Kyle.
Yeah, I mean, it don't matter what happens. I'm still going to rep the G until the day I D-I-E. Well, ain't nothing changing around here.
Nothing's changed around here for Kyle Wallace. Super Bowl 50 runner-up. Grew up a Packer fan rooting for Desmond Howard. Went to the Super Bowl for the Carolina Panthers. Went to the AFC Championship game with the Jacksonville Jaguars. All three teams lost in Super Wildcard Weekend. Bradley, not only are you second place, Brad, your teams all blew it.
Yeah, they didn't even get to second place. They were first-round exits. 0-3, tough weekend in the Nortman household. And for all those Packer fans out there, heartbreak? I know a lot about heartbreak. This one is heartbreaking. It should sting a little bit. That was a painful, painful evening.
We will dive into it with you, KBN Nation, all show long. Strophies ready to roll on the Carbless Talk and Text line, 800-990-3776. Less is more. If you want to get anything off your chest, it is there for you. Of course, we're on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison, and download and listen to the ESPN Wisconsin app if you have not. So, before we get to any of our thoughts, I want to hear from the fans. This is about you. This is about KBN Nation. This is about us. How are you feeling? 800-990-3776. And right off the bat, let's go to the Sunshine State. Mickey in Orlando. Mickey, how's it going? You are up on the Carbless Talk and Text line.
Hiya, pals. Look who's back. It's Matty Mouse. Matty Mouse is back in Green Bay. Oh, boy. Matty Mouse is going to get a new contract. Well-deserved after blowing a 21-3 lead in the playoffs. Oh, you know what's better than 21 points, kids. Not one, but 4 punts in a row. Can you count to 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Good job. That's how you count to 4. which is also how many losses Matty Mouse had in the playoffs in his last 5 games. Math is fun. Good job, Matty Mouse. See ya, kids.
Miska! Muska! Matty Mouse!
Wow.
Kyle's not having fun. Brad's smiling.
That was hilarious. I was legitimately ready
for Mickey in Orlando.
Let's see what Mickey has to say.
You heard from Mickey in Orlando.
Well, I didn't know how that Mickey went down there so quickly. He left Green Bay really quickly. But hey.
Yeah. Ain't nothing amusing about that. Ain't nothing amusing about my team losing the last 4 or 5 playoff
games. There's a little bit amusing.
Ain't nothing amusing about that. It's
Shame
terrible.
on me. Shame on me for believing in Matty Mouse. I for some reason. Shame on me.
The switch up.
Yes. I'm taking ownership.
He reminded us all who he is.
Shame on me. I was the guy, Matty Mouse, and I was like, you know what? I'm feeling like with Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love, with the setup that they have against the Bears, that I do believe that they can win, and I know everyone's talking about Seattle, like, I think they can do it. Shame on me for not remembering who Matt LaFleur is, and that is Matty Mouse. And so I see the Carbless Talking text line legitimately filling up with
got Minnie in
people.
Orlando.
We don't have Minnie, Donald, and Daisy.
Who's Goofy?
No other Disney characters are on the Carbless Talking text line. They are real people, I'm sure.
Aladdin was definitely in Chicago twice. Damn genie.
The genie. Okay. We'll let Stro get that organized. But yeah, again, second half Matt LaFleur was a complete embarrassment. Embarrassment.
You could just see it. I mean, how many times do we have to see the same movie, right? You see the same movie over and over again. It is clear as day, and we were reminded once again, Matt LaFleur coaches differently in the second half. The foot's off the pedal, execution goes out the window, you lose some of the aggressiveness that you had in the first half, and adjustments. There are 2 critical components to coaching. Ben put together an awesome list of like what makes a head coach in general, but just game time specific head coach. There's preparation, that's number 1, and adjustments number 2. Packers, excellent preparation. I mean, they came out ready for not only the Bears defense, but the Bears offense. They were cooking in the first half, but just as important as preparedness is adjustments. Ben Johnson, Dennis Allen, they adjusted in the second half, and you could tell that Jeff Hafley and Matt LaFleur made no adjustments whatsoever. It looked like they were on skates, unprepared for the moment, and that bled down to special teams, offense, and defense. Bad timeouts, bad penalties, not enough guys on the field at times. It was a collapse of epic proportions and the lack of adjustments made, but the great adjustments made by the Chicago Bears, you have to give them some credit too, was all reflective of Matt LaFleur not being able to be a big-time coach. He's just not a big-time coach. You cannot get the big win with Matt LaFleur, and I just don't know what's going to change for us to have championship expectations going forward.
Yeah, it's absolutely inexcusable to allow a team to score 25 points in the fourth quarter. That's just something you can't do. I disagree. Third quarter, the defense still was able to hold the Bears to only 3 points. It came down to the fact that this offense just could not execute out of halftime. The Bears ratcheted it up. They did a great job defensively. Dennis Allen did a great job defensively because they got to pin their ears back. They had absolutely nothing to lose. And while we're talking about Matt LaFleur and aggressiveness, the first play of the second half from the Packers was a pass play. It was just incomplete. And that's when things started to unravel because the next play, they stopped the run for -2 yards, and the offense was stale. And we have seen that far too often from this Packers team, especially coming out in the second half where they have a lead, where they can't get anything going. They can't get any first downs. They can't eat up any clock, and they're allowing teams to get extra possession. So, yes, this loss falls on the shoulders of Matt LaFleur and many other folks, but I'm not at the point where you guys are at, where I'm ready to make fun of Matt LaFleur and call him Matty Mouse or sit here and write off what he has done. I think Matt LaFleur, if he was fired today, a lot of teams would be trying to get Matt LaFleur because he is a good coach. There just needs
no
to be
disagreement there. They would he would get them to exactly where the Packers have been, and then where they falter.
He's good. He's not great.
Matt LaFleur needs to look in the mirror. He needs to understand that I need to have some people who can actually challenge me. I need to have some people who can come to me after the second draft of the second drive.
He does. He has Rich Bisaccia.
No, he does not. No, Rich Bisaccia will be fired by the end of this week. And so He needs to have somebody who can say, Matt, what are we doing? This is what we need to be more creative. We need to be aggressive. He needs to get less yes men around him and more individuals who have aspirations to go on to do greater things other than being an offensive coordinator who doesn't have any play calling duties and abilities. So overall, this was a disaster. This was a disgrace. This was embarrassing that this team allowed another team to score 25 points. The fact that this team couldn't get anything.
The Bears.
I don't give a damn if it was the Bears, the Dolphins, the Bills. I don't care. In the game of football, 25 points in one quarter is something you don't see often, but 25 points in a fourth quarter of a playoff game that you have dominated in the first half, that is inexcusable. They should have never lost this game. So at the end of the day, am I going to fire Matt LaFleur? No. Things need to change.
We've seen who he is through 7 years. A lot of people are disagreeing with Kyle, which you're allowed to do on the YouTube chat and on the Carbless Talk and text line. But all my brain goes to right now is, sure, the context of they let him come back, and Matt LaFleur, like, we saw this. We know what the Bears are, and to the Bears' credit, what their identity has become is they have not quit in any of these games. And if you're Matt LaFleur, despite, the pass play that didn't work right off the second half, or, just becoming the we're trying to run the clock out guy, man, their defense with Jordan Love in the first half could not stop him. Keep driving the ball down the field. If something's working, that doesn't mean you have to adjust to try and preserve clock. It'd be different if it wasn't like, I don't know, the same way the Bears had beaten you, or how they almost beat you in week one. So to see the same game flow for a third straight game and it be even worse in the third quarter, I mean, you can quote a million movies right now. You've seen movies where they're on the sideline. I'm thinking, remember Titans. Herman? Leave no doubt. I mean, it's the Bears, man, Matt, it's the Bears. They're dancing all over your grave. They're dancing all over you because you gave them the opportunity to. Let Jordan keep driving the ball down the field. Josh Jacobs is a great runner. We get that. But your offensive line wasn't getting the push. But you know who was great, undoubtedly? Jordan Love. And then you put him in a spot where he couldn't do what he was able to do in the first half because you changed the flow of the game. And to Kyle's point, what do the Bears have to lose by sending guys and pinning their ears back with their not that great of a pass rush? But you know what you can do when you're in third and medium and long? You can keep sending pressure, and one of the times it's going to work, and it's going to disrupt the quarterback. So this falls on the softness and the trends that we continue to see from Matt LaFleur in tight games, in big games. And also, there's stuff going around throughout this entire season about how many losses the Packers had in which they were up in these games. And even in some of the wins this year, they have let teams climb back to make it too close. So I know we're talking about this game specifically, but there is a trend of Matt LaFleur in big games. And you can think back, and I remember in 2019, I was like, that's a hell of a year. First year, 13-3, make it to the NFC Championship game. You got outclassed by the 49ers, but that was his first year. And Aaron Rodgers and that offense was not as good as they were when they were historically great in the red zone in 2020. And Matt LaFleur decided to kick a field goal to make a one-score game a one-score game. And I was like, all right, my hope for Packer fans and Matt LaFleur is that you are going to learn from this and you won't let those end-of-game scenarios keep coming back to haunt you. But that's just not the case. That's not what we've seen from this coach over 7 years. So it's the sample size, and then it in that microcosm of yesterday with even more this season, I don't know how somebody as a Packer fan could go into next season with a level of confidence that Matt LaFleur will lead them somewhere in the Jordan Love era that he's never been able to lead them to. That's what I keep coming back to.
Well, and if Matt LaFleur is the coach going forward, whether it be next season or many seasons, no matter how big the lead is, fans, players, coaches, everyone will be bracing for that inevitable change of pace where you feel like no lead is safe. The team could easily come back, and that leaves a certain lack of distrust that players are going to have for their coaches are going to have for other coaches. It just seems like he cannot be at his best when his best is required. And that shows over and over. And it's not even just offensive game plan, but that is a huge part of it because you look at it and we say, we know that the Bears turn it on in the second half. We know that they try to then ground and pound further. So you have to slow the game down. You have to have long drives. And what do the Packers do? 4 straight drives of basically 18 total plays, and they just give the ball
more shotgun in the second half.
So it's like you need, and this happened basically carbon copied in the earlier games. And we saw how it played out. Matt LaFleur needs to learn his lessons, but it's not even only offensive game plan. It's timeouts, it's personnel, it's flow, it's situational, Kyle.
And I think that's the game manager part of him, that situational, the flow of it needs to get better. But the thing that frustrated me the most is the fact that the first play of the game, they did a jet sweep to Jaden Reed. We didn't see any of that motion action, anything to throw them off. After that first drive where the Bears pinned their ears back, you got to do something to throw them off, a quick screen, something. And Matt LaFleur failed to do that, and that shows you he needs help. He cannot do this by himself, and I feel like right now with the staff he has around him, he is hanging in there by himself. He needs to get some smarter people around him going into next year.
If he gets the opportunity. I know there's talks about an extension. Will they agree? We'll get through this all together and go through the news, but let's react on the Carbless Talking text line. Let's go to Dan in Fitchburg. Dan, you're up on the Carbless Talking text line with Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Hi, guys. My take on this is leadership. Matt LaFleur is a great tactician. He's a great offensive coordinator. He's not a leader. He simply isn't. He doesn't hold people accountable. Why is our special teams coach still there? Why?
He won't be by the end of this week. He better not be.
But Matt's always a year too late.
It's already a year late. Yeah, exactly. It's a year too late. He is not a leader. He does not hold his team accountable. He has created a culture where the fans – when the special teams takes the field, I want to be excited for the next big play. I don't want to be holding my breath waiting for the next disaster. And tell me that Packer Nation doesn't, every time the special teams takes the field, we're not waiting for a disaster. And it's a big win for us if indeed they don't have a disaster, much less any decent plays.
Remember the fumble?
Come on.
Josh Jacobs fumbled on special teams. That's a disaster. The 3 missed field goals, disaster.
Let's throw it past to Kennard as an eligible receiver. We don't throw it offensive line. Let's do it in this game when we're up on our own side of the field. Appreciate the call and understand where you're coming from, Dan in Fitchburg. Let's go to the Royal Family. Is this the Royal Family? Mike and Franklin, you're up on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on the Carbless Talking text line.
Hi, fellas. I've had better days like you all. I'll try to be brief here, but I'm just going to bring out a couple points. LaFleur can't coach in the big games. He chokes. He just doesn't have it. He's a regular season guy. He's not a postseason guy. That's first thing. Here's the thing. Brad was talking about adjustments. Here's what he should have done, in my opinion. Second half, start Willis. Start Willis just for 1 or 2 series because you know why? Because Ben Johnson's already schemed. They're planning for Love to come out. This just throws a wrinkle into him, and the Bears would not be waiting for that. So that you have Willis, you have Jacobs, you could eat up the clock. Mike. I love you, but when you see what Jordan Love was able to do in the first half, there's not even a thought of Malik Willis. It's just put Jordan Love in positions to continue to drive the ball down the field, get it out of his hand a little bit quicker, get some short passes, especially when you have the run game going. There's other ways to, quote, run the clock out that wasn't as predictable as what the Green Bay Packers did in the second half. Phone line's full. I want to get to all you, but I also want to know, when you think of this game, did the Packers lose because of the Bears, or did they lose because of LaFleur? That's the question. It's kind of both, but it's hard for me to be yes, there is a bravo to the Bears because they executed the same 3 times that they played the Packers. One was a blown coverage pick that they got away with, and the other 2. We know the results. We're sitting here right now. 800-990-3776. Did they lose because of LaFleur or what the Bears did? It's Kyle, Brust, and Nortman with you till 5 o'clock. Keep them coming. 800-990-3776.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Oh, boy. Hi. This is Mickey Mouse for my friend, Matty Mouse. You're listening to KBN on ESPN Wisconsin.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
You know Italian. What do you mean?
You know Italian?
You do know Italian.
Yeah, he's right.
Oui. That's French. But you had gelato.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. All the antics.
The reason he's not running the ball real well this year is because his pants are way too high. You see him pull his pants up? Check it out.
All the action.
How do you have a delay a game after a timeout? How on God's green earth, it's almost like he's in over his head. You need better assistant coaches. I'm sorry.
The best of both worlds lives right here. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
4 years. That's enough time to earn a college degree, to serve a full term as a president, to train for something big and become someone new.
You bet, and get 0% interest for 4 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, so you can invest in your home and in life's biggest moments. With exclusive features and customizations, Pella offers the highest quality products at a price you can afford.
Aim high when setting your New Year's resolution and imagine what you can do in 4 years when you finance your home project with Pella. Visit PellaWI.com today.
When storms hit or accidents happen, it's not just about property, it's about people. I'm Mandy Grimal-Lococo with Grimal and Associates Insurance. We help families bundle home, auto, and life coverage so you're never facing life's what-ifs alone. With the heavy rains we've seen in Milwaukee, we'll review your policy to be sure water backup, sump pump failures, and flood risks don't drain your wallet. Your home is more than walls and a roof, it's where life happens. At Grimal and Associates Insurance in Shorewood, we're here to protect your home, your family, and your peace of mind. Call us today at 414-332-0838.
Something exciting is happening at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. On the second floor, you'll find the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, Milwaukee's destination for bold flavors, fresh sushi, seasonal entrees, and cocktails crafted with care. Start your day with a breakfast that fuels you, stop in for dinner that sparks conversation, or linger late into the evening with drinks designed to inspire. With flavors and drinks for every mood, the Studio is the perfect place to gather, celebrate, and connect. Be boldly social. The Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, now on the second floor at St. Kate the Arts Hotel.
No look behind the back to Kone, who rises up, throws it down.
Siku Kone and the Milwaukee Panthers men's basketball team take on Oakland this Thursday. Tip-off is at 6 p.m. at Panther Arena. From clutch three-pointers to rim-rattling dunks to game-changing blocks, you'll experience all the action. Ticket prices start at just $23. Help tilt the floor this Thursday at 6. Visit mkepanthers.com for tickets. Panther Athletics for the MKE.
St. Anne's Center for Intergenerational Care switched from a previous vendor to business technology from James Imaging Systems. Why? CFO Sally Parente.
The service, the value, and the ease with which we can just keep using their service and not having any big headaches. It's not just all about the money. We're getting value here as well.
Robert Prang, CIO at Tri-City National Bank, likes the fact that James Imaging is local.
So being able to work with a local company like James that has that flexibility with their staff and being able to deliver for us has given us the ability to make the right decisions for our organization.
And Junior Achievement of Wisconsin VP of Enterprise Services, Lori Salzman, had this advice for others.
If anybody is looking for a good partner that is there to help find solutions, call James Imaging.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Visit jamesimaging.com.
I'm Dr. Jasmine Zapata, Chief Medical Officer for Community Health at the Wisconsin Department of Health Services. Every year in the U.S., about 21,000 lung cancer deaths are caused by radon, an odorless, tasteless, and colorless gas. 1 in 10 Wisconsin homes has high levels of radon. Does yours? Call 1-888-LOW-RADON or visit lowradon.org to learn more. Test, fix, save a life.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Need everybody to have that same mindset in terms of what do I need to do to get a little bit better? And the focus has to be daily. You're either getting better or you're getting worse. You're never staying the same. So how do I work for that daily improvement from this moment until next season?
That was Matt LaFleur. We'll hear from him throughout the show. Packers lose because of LaFleur, because of the Bears. 800-990-3776. Carpless Talking text line, or anything you want to get off your chest. Anyone have anything off your chest before we get to the fans?
I mean, one thing I'll say about Jeff Hafley is that I believe Jeff Hafley's a good defensive coordinator.
Oh, we're going to get to Jeff. Don't worry.
Okay, but I will just say this. The defense can only hold up for so long. Like, 25 points is ridiculous. But I'm just saying, you got the ball in a 40 and the offense couldn't move the ball. That is egregious.
Well, and that's where the time of possession, the offense needs to control the pace of the game. So Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur need to take 5, 6, 7-minute drives and shorten the game by going 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. Defense back on the field, it's going to exhaust you. The only thing I'm thinking of is, no matter what happens to Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur, this will be a forever scar on their resume for the Green Bay Packers. Forever. No matter, they could win a Super Bowl and you say, so, you know what? I'm not sure they're Favre and Rodgers, though, because that would never let that happen.
Let's go to Corey in Twin Lakes. You're on the Carbless Talking text line, 800-990-3776. Let's get your voice heard.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for having me on. I just wanted to say I was there on Saturday night, unfortunately. The first 3 quarters were amazing. I had Bear fans all around me basically congratulating me on our win already, and I kept telling them, slow down, slow down. But I went into the game thinking that, there's no way you can fire LaFleur after everything he's done, all the winning seasons we've had, but I just don't know how you walk out of that stadium like I did on Saturday and not think that he's got to be gone. I mean, I don't know. I'm at a loss for words almost.
It's fair to be. And Scott from Racine chimed in. To re-sign LaFleur to an extension would be a cold slap in the face to all Packer fans and supporters. We have not won our division in over 4 years now.
True.
This Packer organization is accepting mediocrity and is more interested in making money off the fan base than looking to provide us with winning team. And more importantly, I think here is culture. That's Scott from Racine.
You have to really wonder, too, think about the postseason. What's the outlier? To me, it feels like that Dallas game was the outlier. If you take all the rest of Matt LaFleur's tenure and the Packers' recent history, not only under Jordan Love, but Aaron Rodgers, feels like that Dallas win was a long time ago. It feels like an outlier compared to the rhythm of all the rest of these playoff games.
Yeah, this team has to learn how to finish. Like whether it is a coaching change to change the culture, but this team, they have to figure out how to finish games. They're so close, but they need to figure out what is it that we have to do this offseason to make sure that we finish these games. There's a level of immaturity that this team had that we have discussed before, that this team was too immature. Matt LaFleur, Goody, and Jordan Love. I'm putting some of this on Jordan Love as well because he needs to be able to look the guys that he's leading, offense or defense, in the eyes and say, tighten the bleep up. Because I saw what Matt Stafford said, hey, let's go take this from him. You need to have that mentality. We need Jordan Love to be more of a vocal leader on the sideline and more of a spiritual leader for this team because he can ball out, but there needs to be a level of fear that these guys have and disappointment of letting him down. I feel like that just isn't there. There's something that he needs to increase when it comes to his leadership skills on the field for the Packers.
I can talk about Jordan Love's leadership, but ultimately Matt LaFleur peed his pants, man. It's the third time they played the Bears and the same game scenario happened and no adjustments was made in the game with knowing how the other 2 game flows went. Where you were up, they came back. It was more of a back and forth in game 1. Game 2, we obviously know what happened with the blown coverages and the onside kick, and then DJ Moore catching it on Keyshawn Nixon. It's all been there, and so it's not like this was like the first time you were in this scenario against the Bears. You definitely were, and against other teams you were, and it's a lot of the same things we've been seeing, and this is why it comes back to I'm trying not to make this just this game specific, because the culture, the example, who Matt LaFleur has been, we've seen through 7 years. And so you have to ask yourself, are you okay with Matt LaFleur in a time where you have Jordan Love and Micah Parsons to lead you to somewhere where you haven't been since 2010? Because there are some pieces there that we can get into. I like coaching Tinder, which we'll probably get to the Wheel of Stro, where we can go through the coaches from a Tinder style. And pick who you want, but regardless, everyone's going to want this position. And you've had this position to show for 7 years what you can do, and we're getting to see who you are in more of a bigger sample size. So let's go to Todd and Sheboygan. Todd, you're on the Carbless Talking text line.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Hit us.
Hello?
Hey, Todd.
How you doing?
Yeah, pretty good.
What are your thoughts, Todd?
Well, I've coached for a long time, and I'm sure
cool.
Mr. Nortman has played football long enough time there. And you look at Tausch and Chewy, they've had a couple years of experience too. The production has not been there for everybody. That goes to Goody on down. And it's the Kurt Cignetti theory. Potential is only so good so far. It has to be production. I can go through the list. Messing with the offensive line at the beginning of the year. Where's Elton Jenkins now?
Hurt.
He's supposed to be our center. Rich Bisaccia. That's a debacle right there. Goody, you personnel moves and stuff like that, back and forth with the kicker. The offensive line, I just go back to that because that's what I used to coach, and defensive line.
Trenches guy, Todd. The trenches weren't good enough.
Nope, they're poor. They're weak. They're soft, whatever you want to call them. Self-scout, do they self-scout themselves? During your time off, in your down week, you should self-scout what you're being successful with not. Jeff Hafley, yes, he did a good job for a couple of years, but I'd be questionable about his theories and things like that.
Well, Todd, let me tell you this: you seem to want to go down the list. I think you should apply if it opens up because you got some solutions and fixes and some oomph behind it. So we appreciate you, Todd.
Football
guy Todd on the Carbless Talking text line. Corey in Chicago, our guy. Rough for you with all the bets you made. You're on with KBN.
Man, yeah, it's been rough, man. It's been real rough. But this is my issue. I say we do make a move on LaFleur. Yeah, we do. But that's what the organization ain't going to do. I believe they're going to keep LaFleur and they're going to keep Goody. But what they need to do, if Stefanski is out there, go bring him in as an offensive consultant, coordinator, whatever you need to do. But we got to get rid of Luke Buckes. We got to get rid of Stojanovic. We got to get rid of Bisaccia.
Yeah, preach.
And the thing is, we need more leaders in this locker room because we don't have enough leadership for all the immaturity that we got with the players. Don't get me wrong, we have probably one of the best young talents in the NFL, but there's not a damn veteran in that locker room. We need a veteran in that locker room to set it off like Charles Woodson did in 2010.
Thank you, Corey. Look, I get where he's going, but if you're talking about bringing in an offensive mind, what benefit, based off the conversation, would Matt LaFleur be as a head coach if he's not calling the plays? And the main thing, play calling was a part of it, but I think more of the time management and the timeouts and situationally, those are the things that keep coming up. So if he's in charge of that and someone else is calling the plays, I don't have faith that if he was just in charge of team from a leadership standpoint and culture standpoint, that it wouldn't make sense to have him. I'm not saying Stefanski should be the head coach in a play caller for the Packers. I'm more so saying if Matt LaFleur is going to, as a lot of college teams and pro teams do hey, this is your last shot, wipe your staff clean, I don't want Matt leading the culture. Would you?
No, I wouldn't. And I honestly don't know what that will accomplish because Matt LaFleur, what he brings to the table is offensive schemes. That's what he does, right? That's why they look so good in the first half, but it falls on him when it becomes so stale in the second half. He has plays in his playbook that can help move the ball forward, easy passes, get first downs, move the chains. He just wasn't calling them. So if you're going to wipe your whole staff, though, like new assistants, offense, defense, whatever, the culture's not changing. And if Matt LaFleur wants to, he's going into his 8th season as a head coach. Most of these guys will all be back next year. So what, is he just going to change his tone The guys that have had him under his current tone, his current approach,
People see through that.
100% you're going to see through that. That looks like inconsistent parenting where it's like, I don't need to listen to you kind of thing. So he had his opportunity. That's why it starts even 3 years ago. When you turn the page from Aaron Rodgers, that was his opportunity to put a stamp on the team. Rodgers left. Oxygen has refilled the room. There's your opportunity. The problem is the culture hasn't been built. He's not good in game with decision making and timeouts and game management. And when his offensive schemes fail, like they have in the second half, you look around and say, well, what exactly are you doing for me, Mr. LaFleur? Because it's sure not winning the big games. So that's where I actually agree with Corey. I would be surprised if the Packers make a move. I don't think they're going to, but it doesn't mean I don't think they should.
No, I don't think they should, but I do think there needs to be movement on this coaching staff. I really do hope that Matt LaFleur realizes you got to bring in somebody. Again, I want either a young up-and-coming guy who can be the offense coordinator who's not calling the plays, but has something to prove. We need some hungry folks. I feel like there's way too much complacency.
But that starts at the top with the coach.
But because sometimes when you buddy, you feel good about where you're at and you're happy where you're at. I need Matt
LaFleur doesn't seem like a guy that wants to be challenged.
Look at the difference Jeff Hafley made, because when Jeff Hafley got here, he had head coaching experience in college. He had worked his way up through the NFL before he ended up going back to college, going to Boston College, and he brought a head coach and a leader to the defensive side of the ball. We can poo-poo and be upset about the failures of this defense after Michael Parsons went down, but there's a reason why Jeff Hafley got interviews last year, and he's one of the hottest coaching candidates now because he displayed characteristics within what he did as a leader of the defense. The Matt LaFleur needs some more help on the offensive side of football so he can focus more on the game management and calling the plays. But he also needs, I'm telling y'all, he needs somebody to come in there and tell him, bro, what are we doing? We got -2 yards on this drive. Be aggressive. We need more guys that can challenge Matt LaFleur.
If that's what you need from somebody to tell your head coach, then I think the head coach is gone. It's done.
The Eagles is very different because they call the play.
The head coach saying that.
But the Eagles, it was different because Nick Sirianni didn't call the plays, but they changed up offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator, and look at the results that they ended up got. They got a Super Bowl. So I'm saying change sometimes can be good, and I think right now, if Matt LaFleur does come back, the offensive staff has to change. Bisaccia has to be gone.
Tom in Richfield, you're on the Carbons Talking Text Line with KBN.
Yeah, today.
Hey.
Hey, it makes me ill just to watch this. That's 5 losses in a row.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what happened to us? I mean, I don't believe it. And I know they keep saying Michael Parsons went out, and guess what? Next man up. And number 52 was not next man up. He couldn't do anything.
The Amber Alert. Amber Alert.
Hello.
Yeah, you're here. I was just putting out another Amber Alert for Rashawn Gary.
Oh, I mean, I missed that. I mean, where did he go? He just fell asleep this year. I know he makes a lot of money. The whole team makes a lot of money. We got 2 players making over $100 million a year. How are we going to ever replace this and start over again?
Well, I think, look, as I mentioned, there are some foundational pieces here. Jordan Love, Micah Parsons, Edgerrin Cooper. I think they're likely going to
Ed got hurt.
But that's where it's interesting, right? Because
doesn't matter anymore.
If the Packers were to move on from Matt LaFleur, everyone says, Matt LaFleur would be the number 1 candidate out there. The Packers would be the number 1 team for any coaching staff on the market currently. I mean, you would maybe say the Ravens, but it feels like Lamar's best days are behind him, not ahead.
Oh, wow.
LaFleur, I mean, he gets
would you rather
banged up
take
the way he
Jordan
plays.
Love right now with Micah Parsons or Lamar where he's at?
For 8 years?
I'm biased. I'm taking the Packers, but do understand that.
I mean, he's very good.
Beat up this last year.
He is
he's
beat
an
up,
MVP
but
type player.
It's a concern about
He's 28, I think.
Anyway,
he's young.
Yeah, Micah Parsons, you got Jordan Love, you've got a stable organization in the Green Bay Packers. It seems like a team that's knocking on the door. It would be the number 1 destination for any coaching staff. That's why Ed Policy has an interesting decision. If he thinks there's anyone else out there that he'd prefer over Jordan Love or after Matt LaFleur, you go for it because it is the number 1 destination. Matt LaFleur might be sought after, but the Packers are sought after as well.
I want to continue to hear from you. Additionally, I want to hear from Rob Demovsky from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy earlier this morning on 94.5 ESPN on the latest with the Ed Policy decision, the extension. What do they offer? Do they offer? It's all up in the air, but the longer they wait, the less I like it. More Kyle, Brust Nortman. If you're on the line, stay there. We will get to you next.
This is Kyle Brust Nortman.
So in my short time here, I've come to learn about these things I call them Strofe days, where he's doing something for himself, and then he just wipes his calendar, regardless of how it may affect other people.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Every so often in medicine, something comes along that is truly revolutionary.
Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, former orthopedic surgeon, now National Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
I believe this is one of those things.
Dr. Scheinkup is talking about regenerative medicine, something he's practiced, researched, and written about for nearly 2 decades.
The old ways of dealing with joint pain, such as steroids and surgery, are no longer the best ways.
If you have pain from arthritis or injury, you owe it to yourself to learn more about this exciting option, using your own body's natural power to get lasting relief. And there's no better place to learn than QC Kinetics.
There is no one in this country today with more clinics, more satisfied patients, more advanced protocols, or more experience in using this exciting option to deliver life-changing results.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
Big ideas deserve a big story and the right audience. At Saturn Lounge, we bring your marketing to life with branding, websites, digital marketing, and video storytelling that stands out from the crowd. Whether it's a TV spot, a campaign, or content built to connect, Saturn Lounge is where strategy meets creativity. From the first spark of an idea to the final cut, we're here to make your message shine across every platform. Ready to make your marketing a success? Step into the spotlight with Saturn Lounge, your launch pad for bigger, better marketing. To tell the world your story, visit SaturnLounge.com today.
Come grow with us at Glenroy. For more than 6 decades, our family-owned company has built its reputation on quality, reliability, and providing strong career opportunities in our community. As the packaging industry rapidly grows, so does Glenroy. Here, you'll find competitive wages, a clean, modern workspace, fully vested 401k, yearly bonus award, and the chance to build a manufacturing career with purpose. Apply today at glenroy.com/careers. That's GLENROY.com/careers.
What's better than cheering for the Packers with an ice-cold beer in your hand? Cheering for the Packers with an ice-cold beer in your hand that you got for 10% off. And when you get Packers checking from Associated Bank, you get even more. Like 10% off food and 10% off drinks on game day. Like that ice-cold beer in your hand. Plus 15% off Pro Shop gear. Only with Packers checking. Associated Bank. Bank of the Packers. Learn more at associatedbank.com/Packers. Member FDIC.
With your Saganiac Planning Marquette recap, I'm Will Summers. Looking for their second straight Big East win, the Golden Eagles fell 76-73 against Villanova on Saturday. Freshman Nigel James Jr. was incredible as he tallied a career-high 31 points to go along with 6 assists.
James inside, back out. Now James has an open 3. He'll try another one. Good! Nigel James, 4 of 5 3-point shooting. That's what you call a Novak.
Marquette now hits the road to take on St. John's on Tuesday.
For more than 40 years, Network Health has been the trusted experts in health plans. Just like you, they're honest, hardworking, and grateful to call Wisconsin home. Whether you're seeking coverage for yourself, your family, or your employees, Network Health has you covered with a range of options, including individual and family marketplace plans, employer plans, and Medicare Advantage plans. Call Steve Llewellyn, Saganiac Planning, 262-783-6161. 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after. An in-depth recap of every Bucks game.
In 6 minutes. No more?
No less. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. If you missed any of the game or just want to relive the biggest moments, Bucks in 6 provides game recaps every morning after. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis or the deep threes from Miles Turner. And catch the comments post-game about what happened on the court. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to Kyle Brust Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
What do you know? You open up your phone and then you see something you missed. Because there's a lot of information from the game and moving forward. As the Packers lost 31-27 on Saturday. Welcome into Kyle Brust Nortman. We're doing this all together. Rob Domofsky tweeted, probably didn't matter, but the Packers had only 10 guys on the field for the final PAT on Saturday. What do you mean? What do you mean it doesn't matter?
Yeah. Details don't matter.
Details don't matter. 31-27. How did the Packers beat the Bears last year?
Blocked field goal.
What happens if you block the extra point and you don't need
difference.
a touchdown and you need a field goal to
So wait,
tie?
for ours or theirs?
Packers
on defense had 10.
Yeah, I mean,
It's just attention to detail. It's the same stuff.
It's a cold night. It's windy. Footing's not great. You don't get the same trajectory out of the ball. You might just get a little bit more push.
And that was a couple plays after they called the timeout because they were trying to run guys off and on the field, and they ended up having, I believe, 10 men on the field as well when they were trying to run guys off, and he wasted a timeout in that moment when the Bears eventually went on to score. So, yeah.
And let's not forget timeout, delay of game, leading to a longer field goal, missed field goal. I mean, there's just so many things time after time where you're just like, this doesn't happen to great football teams and great head coaches.
Let's hear from Rob Domofsky earlier this morning, who joined Jen, Gabe, and Shuey. Rob does a pretty good job, as we heard Adam Schefter over the weekend and this morning, but with the dynamic of Ed Policy being the Packers president in his first year, having to make some decisions here, what's it going to look like for the Matt LaFleur conversation?
But is it possible they're talking about an extension that they know LaFleur wouldn't take, right? Like they're going to set up for it, and then it makes them look like, hey, we tried, but, ultimately we decided we couldn't come to an agreement. Or is LaFleur going to go in there and say, I want $16 million? And the Packers say no. This doesn't necessarily mean that that he's the coach next year and for the year after and year after. But I do think all those things are in play here. But is it possible?
Double whammy. That's Rob Domofsky on Jed, Gabe, and Chewy earlier this morning. Brad, unfortunately for you, you've had to sit in these end-of-season conversations as a player, sometimes good, sometimes bad. Ed Policy's the president. You played in the NFL. What would this look like from a statement from Ed Policy?
It's his first major statement as president of the Green Bay Packers. It would be bizarre and wishy-washy. It would be so soft, I couldn't even believe it. Why would Ed Policy care at all about trying to win a PR battle to try to extend a fake olive branch to Matt LaFleur just to make it seem like, oh, we tried? I know Rob is just hypothesizing and saying there are certain things on the scenario, but the way the reports are being drawn out by even guys like Adam Schefter, it sounds like, oh, we're going to try, we're going to do some talking, we're going to have some negotiations. So it's not a big leap. Why on God's green earth would Ed Policy care about winning the PR battle and having some fake level of negotiations with Matt LaFleur just to say, hey, we tried? I would love if Ed Policy would take a stance, make a statement, say, Matt LaFleur is my guy. This sort of in-between, all it will do will continue to erode confidence in Matt LaFleur. Take a stance, pick a side, and have some conviction behind it. If it's extend Matt LaFleur, say, you know what? That's what we're doing. This is our head coach. I trust that he can get us to the promised land. This is just one game in a large sample size. We know who Matt LaFleur is. He's our guy. If that's your stance, great. At least you're standing on it. Or just say, we expect higher. This is not good enough for the Green Bay Packers standard, and we will do everything it takes to go do that. Some sort of in-between for a PR battle. It looks bad on Ed Policy, and if this actually comes into fruition, listen, I'm not going to sit back and criticize him as he's first on the job, but it would be a very strange and soft and bizarre way to start your biggest decision as Packers president and CEO.
Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, Alex Stro running the show, and you on the Carbless Talking text line 800-990-3776. Of course, YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. Let's go to Reggie in Texas. You're on the Carbless Talking text line with KBN.
Hello there, fellas. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it. My first point is this. This isn't college football where you can hit the transfer portal and clean out your roster and bring in who you need to fix your problems. In the NFL, inevitably falls on the head coach. And there's a pattern here. If you go back to the championship game against the Bucs, down 8, goes for the field goal, never see the ball again. Playoff game. Back, though, basically. Lose the last game against the Lions.
That's a good point.
That's good.
There's a pattern here. And when I start hearing names like, well, John Harbaugh might be a good replacement, you guys hit a great point. Don't replace a guy till you have a guy you know you want. Why is Harbaugh in trouble? Giving up leads with the Ravens. So you want to replace a guy who's got a leaky faucet with a guy who's got a leaky faucet. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm not necessarily sold on Harbaugh, but again, we can get to coaching Tinder with Alex Strofe a little bit later. And if you do have,
I'm going to ask you all about leaky faucets.
Sounds good, Strofe. Keep answering those phones. You're working hard back there. Let's go to Derek in Lake Geneva. Derek, you're on the Carbless Talk and Text line with KBN.
Gents, good afternoon. How are you doing?
Oh, you know.
I'm pretty good.
We alive. I wouldn't say well, but alive.
As am I. So I'm going to reference back, Brad, you made one of the best comments I've heard in the last year.
Oh, Mark
when
Guy.
You referenced Luke Fickell erased 30 years of Barry Alvarez's work in just 3 years. Buddy, that was spot on.
Thank you.
Matt LaFleur just did the same thing with 3 years of Packers dominance in 1 year, okay? I'm not asking for us to have a coach like Mike Holmgren who's going to grab Billy Schrader by the face mask and drag him to the sideline. I'm not asking for this.
Missed those
But I would
days.
use an analogy to describe our coach.
No, Bo Ryan, Bo Ryan used to yell the hell out of me.
Yeah,
I missed that. I missed the toughness.
I only got coached hard.
I'm sure you did. So now let me make an analogy as a coach being a car with a check engine light. Let me preface this. Brad, you might not understand this. If you had a car with a check engine light, Mr. Moneybags, you just drive to a car dealership. Brad would just drive to a car dealership and buy a brand new car.
Yeah,
you know that.
Take care of this.
So,
I'll go to my car guy.
Exactly. So think of this. LaFleur is our car we've owned for 3 years, right? Now in the last 3 years, we were getting intermittent check engine lights. And when we read the codes are coming up the same thing. Discipline, hustle, executing on plays. And every year we go back, we go to AutoZone, we erase the codes, and we start over the last 3 years. My question is this. Why are not we just replacing the vehicle? What happened last Saturday was tantamount to driving a car. You're taking your fans in the passenger seat to a wedding. The car breaks down and dies a quarter mile from the off-ramp. Everybody's got to get off and walk in the snow. Now policy is going to tell us, hey, man, we're going to fix the car. It's going to drive like brand new.
We've seen the car, Derek, haven't we? We've seen the damn car.
Exactly, brother. It'll get you from A to B, but we're not trying to get from A to B. We're trying to get from A to SB, as in the Super Bowl.
Ooh, Derek,
so
that is the best call of the day. That's what you win right now.
He was cooking. I wish I came up with that analogy. That was
check
so
engine
good.
light.
That was so
with
good.
the codes. I felt that. What do you mean? You don't know check engine lights and numbers and codes.
Yeah.
But
Hey, take care of this guy.
Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, Stro on the show. We're with you till 5 o'clock. I see the phone lines continue to be full. Again, I'm glad that Rob Domofsky brought up the idea of they can come in with an extension amount, but does Matt LaFleur want that? Again, it's to me, and I think to everyone right now, and this is where you got to decide if your emotion is because of just one game or if you're like Derek, who's fed up with what we've seen over time. And you tell us what you think from that. 800-990-3776. Carbless Talk and Text. If you're on the line, we're going to do our best to get to you. Kyle Brust Nortman continues next.
This is Kyle Brust Nortman, KBN.
He's my sugar daddy.
Well, I need a sugar daddy. There's a wedding coming up this summer, and maybe I need the sugar daddy to be at.
Oh, man.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. All the antics.
The reason he's not running the ball real well this year is because his pants are way too high. Do you see him pull his pants up? Check it out.
All the action.
How do you have a delay a game after a timeout? How on God's green earth? It's almost like he's in over his head. You need better assistant coaches. I'm sorry.
The best of both worlds lives right here. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Can you feel it? It's the thrill of witnessing a walk-off grand slam, a game-winning touchdown, a buzzer-beating 3. Yeah, you know the feeling. And there's only one place to experience that raw exhilaration. Potawatomi Sportsbook. Catch all the action in a supreme space with dozens of sports betting kiosks, cool drinks, luxe seating, great food, fiery atmosphere, and a monster video wall. Become a legend at Potawatomi Sportsbook. More info online. Must be 21 to enter casino.
Hey, it's Gary Ellison for Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center. Looking to escape the cold or take a midday break? Get your game on at Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center, where it's always golf season. Play more than 2,000 courses, including over 50 right here in Wisconsin. And even that famous course where they hand out green jackets. Top tech simulators, great food, and the best Bloody Marys around. This is your year-round slice of summer. Bays start at just $35 an hour, Monday through Friday. Book your bay today at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
At Big Fish Contracting, we want every home project to be a good story worth sharing. That's why we as a team aim to exceed your expectations. We can improve any aspect of your home. Everything from a complex remodel to the essential roof, gutters, siding, and windows. Integrity, humility, and kindness are why we've grown in southeastern Wisconsin for the last 2 decades. Visit bigfishcontracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
My husband's an animal in bed.
Well, you know.
Not in the fun way. Think warthog. With a chainsaw.
Snoring and sleep apnea affect over 90 million people, and 1 out of 4 couples sleep in separate rooms. Advent can help. We've been Milwaukee's one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care under one roof. Advent's unique approach can help you breathe and sleep better, and many avoid a CPAP. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
Hey, the only animal you want in your bed is your dog.
Advent. Sleep better. Sleep together. Learn how you can improve your life at adventknows.com.
UW Credit Union presents the Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org.
With your UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, I'm Will Summers. This week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week is Wisconsin Lutheran senior and Northern Iowa commit Xavier Zenz. Zenz delivered a championship-clinching performance at the Beach Ball Classic in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, knocking down a buzzer-beating three-pointer to lift number 15 Wisconsin Lutheran to a 57-54 win over North Crowley in the traditional bracket title game. Zenz finished with a game-high 26 points, shooting 9 of 12 from the field, 4 of 5 from 3, and 4 of 4 from the free throw line. He scored the final 7 points of the game, including the game-winning shot as time expired. Over the 3-game tournament, Zenz averaged 26.3 points per game, earning MVP honors while leading the Vikings to the championship. Congratulations to Xavier Zenz, your UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
This is Kyle Brust Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Bradley Nortman, you, KBN Nation, can get us at 800-990-3776. Chef Ed chimes in. If Tom Brady was the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, Matt LaFleur would still find a way to screw it up. Get us on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. Let's go to Sue in Cudahy. Sue, you're on with KBN.
Hi. Okay. All you are down in the mouth about LaFleur.
Mm-hmm.
Don't deny it. You all are. A lot of people are.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, what about all the assistant coaches? What about them? Shouldn't you be down in the mouth on them? Because they're the ones who call the play. Those are the ones that are sitting there in their glory and laughing at LaFleur. LaFleur did his job. And Love did his job. It's the people
You're right on that. Sue, I appreciate the call, but first off, Matt calls the plays. Let's be honest on that. I don't know if you're Matt's mother. I don't know how you came to defense in that way, but just wrong.
And
but
Matt
I appreciate the call.
Oversees all the other coaches, right? So like when we criticize Matt, by extension, we are criticizing Rich Bisaccia, his staff, right? I mean, he is in charge of that. If you were in charge of a unit and that unit is struggling, you would criticize the person who is leading that unit.
Yeah, I just really feel like it comes down to how good of a CEO has Matt been, and Matt hasn't been a consistent CEO. He's been extremely inconsistent with so many different decisions that we're talking about, and it comes down to, does Ed Policy believe that Matt LaFleur can be a better CEO while handling play-calling duties as well? Does he have enough people in his back pocket, or not in his back pocket, who work with him on the offensive side for him to be able to be a great CEO and a great play caller? Currently at this time, I don't think that's it. I really just don't think he has a strong enough staff around him. I do believe in Matt LaFleur. I think this team, and again, I'll keep going to it, this team in Denver, was looking like a Super Bowl team, and everything just faded away. Zach Tom went down. Michael Parsons went down. You had already lost Tucker Kraft. You're talking about just this season. The Packers lost 4 guys that are all-pro potential type guys. Or not just Pro Bowl, but Zach Tom is considered in the conversation of being an all-pro guy. Micah Parsons was an all-pro. Jordan Love was getting close to becoming an all-pro. Tucker Kraft was playing at a level that he would have been in the conversation of being a top 3 tight end in the NFL, and they all missed a certain amount of time at the same time during this season. So I understand that we should be upset with the decisions that we saw on Saturday because it is inexcusable the way they collapsed on Saturday. But I still have hope with this staff and with this team, with some tinkers and some changes, that we can still do something special. But Sasha got to go, offensive line coach got to go, and I even think Stinovich got to go as well. But there has to be a little bit of change, and there has to be a little bit more fire and understanding. We have to finish, but this team is not that far off, fellas. We're not that far off, despite the loss.
But you list all those injuries. We know all NFL teams have injuries. The Bears, look, the Bears played magnificent in the second half, particularly the fourth quarter. We can say that, right? But they're not that great of a team. We said here all week last week, listen, regardless of all of that, Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love, you go get this win. If you were a good to great team, you go get this win.
Rodgers and Favre, they would go get this win.
Yeah, they would. Even shorthanded, you go get this win. And
We've seen the development where Rodgers has failed. We saw Mike McCarthy, yes, we won a Super Bowl, but what happened after that? Failure after failure. It doesn't matter. It wasn't the Legion of Boom, or whether it's the 49ers where Aaron Rodgers couldn't do anything offensively. We've seen failures come with this coach and a different coach. Aaron Rodgers is great. He's fantastic. He's one of the greatest of all time.
You love LaFleur. That's all I get. Why do you love LaFleur so much? He's given you so much pain, and you're coming to his defense.
It's not about loving LaFleur. You don't think... It's about looking at the full 19 weeks of football that we have and understanding.
What about the 7 years?
All these coaches have
7 years, Kyle.
I 100% get it. He took over a team.
3-6.
He took over a team that had struggled, and he helped Aaron Rodgers find himself again. They failed with Aaron Rodgers.
You want to win a Super Bowl, or do you want to come close?
I want to win a Super Bowl, and trust me, you guys know I have been very hard on LaFleur, and there was a point even last season where I was like, you know what, maybe we need to move on. But
Which is fascinating.
But what I saw in this year, and I did see some development, especially with not being able to win big games last year and then winning big games this year, but now you kind of flipped it where you lost
big
to the Browns.
Games did the Packers win this year that are
outsized
enough to ignore the playoffs, the one and dones that we keep on losing.
I guess big game is kind of tough because
Thanksgiving,
as things shook out. Because what we thought with the Lions was a big game, they were still a good football team. But to me, it seems like in this team, this is why it hurts so much, is that when this team has their mind set to something and they're on a mission, they seem to prove people that I can do this. Because think about it, they went 9-8 the first year that they made the playoffs. They beat the Dallas Cowboys, and they fought against the 49ers. The following year, they couldn't beat good teams, but they beat the bad teams to show that, no, we're going to sustain the success. You won 11 games. Then the biggest beef on them was they were 1-5 in the division last year. What did they do this year? They were able to beat the Lions twice.
Who cares? You didn't win the division, and you lost the Bears in the playoffs.
What you're missing is the level of immaturity for them to be able to consistently get hyped and up for games. That is a problem, but I do think it's correctable. I think that they can bring it all together next season.
I turn to Brad on that one. I feel like immaturity is from a culture and from a leadership, and that's the coach.
Well, in this team, they're not young anymore, right? They might be on paper among the youngest teams in football, but they're not young by experience anymore. And the thing is, you have your opportunity to set your culture. It happens early on. He had the opportunity to set it in basically 2 different windows, right? The Rodgers window and now this Young and Love team window. And I just think that he had his opportunity. It is set. It's going to be hard to change course. And it's not even the thing is, we know that there is a level of high ceiling for this team because we see it, right? The first half of this game, you're like, woo, this team is cooking. The first half of the Broncos beating the Lions on Thanksgiving. You look at this team and say, this team is cooking. Maybe they can win a Super Bowl.
And then what?
But the inconsistency, which is reflected by coaching, continues to rear its ugly head. And you cannot do that over long enough time periods or else you're going to get beat and beat in the fashion that they did on Saturday night.
I saw that the earlier losses during the season where you saw the loss to the Cleveland Browns, you saw the tie against the Dallas Cowboys. I just felt like after the Panthers game, they lost to the Eagles. That was a bad offensive performance. You're trying to adjust not to having Tucker Kraft. But after that, they ripped off 4 straight, and it looked like they went to Denver, and they're going to rip off 5 straight. That seemed like a big turning point in the season for the Packers because they beat 3 divisional opponents. They beat the New York Giants, and they were up against the Broncos. So at that point, it's just like, man, can Matt LaFleur get this team back to where they were in the middle of the season? I believe so, but that's up to Ed policy to decide.
I guess, did George Kittle going out hurt the Niners' chances against the Eagles? Like, there's so many examples of teams that lose all pro players.
Shanahan's a better coach.
That's great. The point here is we have 7 years of seeing the same thing from Matt LaFleur. But we do know, although the Green and Gold will be a part of it, Sunday, February 8th, you got to be at Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee. Watch the big game at 1100 Bar and Lounge, Rock and Brews, or Small Bar. You can get a ticket to the Yingling tailgate party in the annex next to Potawatomi Sportsbook. Reserve premium seating inside the sportsbook. If you haven't done that, get it before you can. The food, the atmosphere, the vibe, the kiosks, they have it all. So, food and drink specials, pitchers, $10 off 100-ounce beer, tubes. Potawatomi Casino Hotel is your spot for anything for sports with that amazing video wall. We're back in 2 short minutes. The trend of Matt LaFleur continues. What would you do if you were Ed Policy next?
Something exciting is happening at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. On the second floor, you'll find the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, Milwaukee's destination for bold flavors, fresh sushi, seasonal entrees, and cocktails crafted with care. Start your day with a breakfast that fuels you, stop in for dinner that sparks conversation, or linger late into the evening with drinks designed to inspire. With flavors and drinks for every mood, the Studio is the perfect place to gather, celebrate, and connect. Be boldly social. The Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, now on the second floor at St. Kate the Arts Hotel.
Homer here with a message about 3 Pillar Senior Living Communities located on a serene setting along the Bark River on 300 gorgeous acres. 3 Pillar Senior Living Communities is a top-ranked full continuum community. Active adult, independent living, assisted living, memory care, skilled nursing, and rehab. 3 Pillars, the hands-down choice for you or your loved one. Been there. Know people who live there. They love it. You got to go to Dousman and see it in person. Get all the info on 3 Pillars at 3pillars.org.
With your Saganiac Planning Marquette recap, I'm Will Summers. Looking for their second straight Big East win, the Golden Eagles fell 76-73 against Villanova on Saturday. Freshman Nigel James Jr. was incredible as he tallied a career-high 31 points to go along with 6 assists.
James inside, back out. Now James has an open 3. He'll try another one. Good! Nigel James, 4 of 5 three-point shooting. That's what you call a Novak.
Marquette now hits the road to take on St. John's on Tuesday.
For your fellow fanatics and your number 1 fans, for your game day compatriots and your personal cheerleaders, for all the reasons you smile, get covered with dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of Wisconsin and Delta Vision. Support your overall health so you can be your best for those who matter to you most. Call Eric Pearson. Eric Pearson, Saganiac Planning, 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service.
You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee, a Good Karma Brands radio station. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Brust Nortman, KBN on ESPN Wisconsin. Here's Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, and Brad Nortman.
I don't know how I stumbled upon this with you, Brad, at one point. Not the same, because it's not how the game ended. But 4th and 8 has another meaning. It was in 2013 against the Bears, in which Randall Cobb got open on 4th and 8. The Bears lost contain. Was that Peppers, who then became a Packer, who lost contain?
I don't know.
Julius Pepper lost contain, but I think that wasn't that the year that they went to the Super Bowl year? I thought that was
2013 to win the NFC North.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
And it was Julius Peppers who lost contain because he was able to slide out.
It was 4th and 3, and then what led to the 5-yard penalty on the false start turned into 4th and 8 for Caleb Williams, where he scrambled and
they got lucky
the
on that one because that ball went whoosh, over his head. It all worked out.
Not on Saturday for the Packers on the 4th and 8 for Caleb Williams. 800-990-3776. Again, if you want to be Ed Policy, you be Ed Policy, because I want to know what statement you would make if you, as a fan of the Green Bay Packers, would want to do here after we've seen Matt LaFleur over 7 years. If you still believe in him, Kyle does, which is totally acceptable. Just want to know why. I want to know the why behind it, because I feel like the culture that he's created and the trends that we continue to see are hard for me to be like, yes, I would want to go into a season with that guy. But we'll go to Bubba in Milwaukee. Bubba! You're on the Carpet Stock text line.
What's going down, y'all? What's going down? We kicking it with Bubba.
What's up, Bubba?
Look, man, every time they lose, I'm a math teacher that calls in disguise, so we're going to go with the nickname Bubba. Every time we lose, y'all put me on the internet last time I told y'all that. I got to call in on Monday. So I didn't go to work today. Screw math, screw my class, screw everything.
That's fair, man. You have every right to do what you want.
And I'm a better teacher than that. I'm compromised, so they wouldn't be learning much today anyway. They'll just be hearing me complain. Listen, if you're Ed Policy, you got to retain Matt. And maybe I'm being a little heartfelt here on my homer, but we are family-ran, small, family-oriented franchise, and I know everyone wants to get out of that mantra that has carried us so long, but I feel like Matt and Jordan have the right to Christian themselves and win their first Super Bowl under this paradigm that is the Green Bay Packer franchise. Who are we going to let this weirdo that runs the Bears now and the Bear franchise run us out of what we do? Listen, he could stand to bring more accountability, but what he has brought us over the years is sustained identity. I think we are the best aerial attack in the league. I think sometimes balls hit guys' hands and they just don't catch. Jaden Reed did not catch that pass on the last couple of closing drives.
He took accountability for it, too.
Our offense, right, and he did. Was our offense enough and was LaFleur enough when we were up nearly 3 touchdowns? Well, I bet our stylism then is enough. I bet his play calling then is enough. So it's for us to learn how to close. I love Jordan. He's my favorite player in the league, and he is a unit of a ball player. I think for him, the next level is realizing even if it takes 5-6 touchdowns, unfortunately, you have to find a way to get it there. He had 4 straight punting drives. That is where it began and end. All right, let's see what we do next year. Thank you, fellas. Appreciate it.
All right, Bubba.
Good stuff,
take a day off
Bubba.
of math, and best of luck tomorrow for you.
I mean, Bubba made some good points. However, I just don't know if it's just going to happen with Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love. And here's the one caveat I will make. The only way you actively get rid of Matt LaFleur is if there's someone else that Ed Policy absolutely loves. Like if he loves John Harbaugh and said, like, this is my dream candidate, then you go get John Harbaugh. What you don't want to do is fire Matt LaFleur and then we'll figure it out. You got to have a plan. Matt LaFleur is better than most of the candidates out there, so you have to be able to have a plan. But I would argue that the Packers are the best opening of all the openings. You could go get John Harbaugh. For me, I would take John Harbaugh over Matt LaFleur, but I'm not sure how many other people.
17.
He's a culture setter. Have him be a culture setter for 5 years, get a great offensive coordinator, and you're able to then capitalize on this Jordan Love and Micah Parsons window.
Yeah, okay. So one thing I want to say about this game, okay? Yeah, Matt LaFleur, he failed us. But, dude, your field goal kicker is the reason why you're lost. I don't care what anybody says. Your field goal kicker.
Who employed Rich Bisaccia?
Him, but still, listen, Rich Bisaccia don't coach him to miss field goals like that. That was one of the better field goal kickers, and Brandon McManus failed you. Not only did he miss the 55-yarder, he missed a 44-yarder, and he missed an extra point. The extra point was the crucial one because it goes from being 28-16. Instead, now you find yourself down 4 points, and then he missed the 44-yard field goal, which would have played a big role too. So we can sit here and talk about all that this team did not do and all that Matt LaFleur didn't do. But to me, it comes down to, yes, Matt LaFleur, but it comes down to your field goal kicker and Brandon McManus, who choked in that game and lost you that game. There's no ifs, ands, or buts around it. If he does what he's paid to do, the Packers are going to Seattle, and there's no questions or qualms about that. It falls on Brandon McManus missing them dang field goals. He missed an extra point. He choked yesterday.
He did do that, but you have to give blame to everybody. And he deserves blame. He deserves blame.
He makes the field goals. We're not having this conversation.
Yeah, but Matt LaFleur, if he takes a couple of those third quarter drives, sustains it a little bit, keeps his defense off the field, is able to put the ball in the end zone as opposed to field goal attempts, then you're even making drives. You opened the door to Ben Johnson to come through and walk right through it. That's exactly what he did.
They got themselves into field goal range, and he missed a 44-yarder. They scored a touchdown. He missed the extra point. At the end of the game, had you don't miss that extra point, guess what? You're in field goal range for a chance to tie the game and force overtime.
A 44-yarder
Again,
would have been 39 if not for a timeout and a delay of game.
And I think, to your point, I'm of the point that you're at, Brad. If you see what Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love were able to do in the first half, there is something you could have done in the second half to not pee down your leg and put yourself in a scenario where you're re-legislating kicks.
In the first half, too, and that was our field goal kicker, too.
It's fine. He deserves blame, but also it's not on him. Like there are so many plays within that game where they just said, you know what, we're going to try to run the clock out with 30 minutes to go, and that didn't work the first two times. It got close in the first game, and it killed in the second game, and they did the same damn thing.
Extra point.
So if he gets an F for the game, what does Matt LaFleur get?
Matt LaFleur gets a D+ for his second half effort, third quarter specifically.
Jason Wilde joins us next.
This is Kyle Brust Nortman.
Here's the worst thing that happened about Brad Nortman producing Kyle Brust Nortman, and is Kyle, you know what's going to happen? He's going to have so much like softness in his heart for producers.
I lost the guy.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Well, starting off with some delays. Westbound 94, just west of 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. On the eastbound side, backing up from 76th Street to Hawley Road. And that's pretty much it right now. We've got one broken down vehicle on southbound 94, just past Elm Road, off on the right shoulder, though, so it's not really affecting your ride too much. Traffic is brought to you by the Neal Group. John Neal and his team know how to minimize your taxes to keep more money in your pocket. Visit nealgroup.net to learn more. That's nealgroup.net. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast tonight, increasing clouds, a low of 32. Tomorrow, slight chance for rain, partly cloudy, a high of 45. Weather is brought to you by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Play over 2,000 courses, including that famous one with the green jackets. Book your bay at wisconsinindoorgolfcenter.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
With Wilde and Tausch, you won't miss a play.
We were in the postseason what we were all throughout the regular season. A good team that couldn't put four quarters together, let teams hang around, and when you don't have Micah Parsons to clean up.
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
You allow, things to happen at the end of games that don't and shouldn't happen.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1 day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's four walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
It doesn't get any headlines, just to be silently good. Big Fish Contracting, we say renovating homes, redeeming an industry.
It's so much more than just, okay, we're replacing your roof.
We're not only educating homeowners, but we're getting to know them and allowing them an opportunity to get to know us. And there's just such beauty in it, If anyone is considering reaching out to us,
or you can check us out on our website, bigfishcontracting.com.
Can you feel it? It's the thrill of witnessing a walk-off grand slam, a game-winning touchdown, a buzzer-beating 3. Yeah, you know the feeling. And there's only one place to experience that raw exhilaration. Potawatomi Sportsbook. Catch all the action in a supreme space with dozens of sports betting kiosks, cool drinks, luxe seating, great food, fiery atmosphere, and a monster video wall. Become a legend at Potawatomi Sportsbook. More info online. Must be 21 to enter casino.
It's Jason Wilde from Wilde & Tausch. Upgrade your industrial supply services with Lakeland Supply, your trusted ISO certified partner for custom packaging, shipping supplies, janitorial, and safety supply solutions. With over 40 years of industry excellence, Lakeland Supply is a proven one-stop source with over 95% of their products made in the U.S., and they treat their customers like family. Personalized service with a national reach. That's what Lakeland Supply does. Visit lakelandsupply.com to discover how they can make your business better.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
He was not taken out of context. He said the whole thing.
Three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year.
I don't think that means much, though. Like, it very rarely happens.
Holding everybody accountable.
They need to be more mature.
Jason Wilde is on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. Joining us now is Jason Wilde of Wilde & Tausch, 9 to noon across these very stations. Jason, welcome in.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Doing well-ish. How's that?
Sure. Well, you feel your feelings, buddy.
I want to know from you, Jason. Obviously, there is a strong feeling amongst a lot of people that they don't want to see Matt LaFleur be the coach next year. If I were to ask you, what is the biggest reason he should be and the biggest reason he shouldn't be, what would you give me?
Biggest reason that he should be, I think it starts with, I think he's a good coach. I understand how people feel. I get it. I think in talking with his players, there's, and I always say this, of course, right? They're going to say, oh yeah, we want him back. But there are definitely different ways to make that argument if you're a player, right? And you can certainly do it in a way that is very convincing, and then you can do it in kind of a lukewarm way where the quotes say that you want him back, especially in case he does come back, but you don't necessarily do it in an impassioned way. And, again, in talking with Micah Parsons for one, and look, part of this, and again, fans get to feel however they want to feel. I'm not here to tell them otherwise. Certainly that is a fool's errand. But I guess I would say that when Micah Parsons says something like, I've had my fair share of coaches and people around this league that I've been around, and Matt's one of the best guys and people, like as a person, I've been around since I've been in this league. I reached out to him when I started seeing this, and I said, man, when I agreed to come here, you were part of the reason why I came here. I want you a part of this, and I love you, and I think you're a great coach. And he appreciated those words, and we had a brief conversation. He cares so much. He cares so much about the players. I don't think people realize that. And you can get spoiled with good coaches and good people, and you don't realize until they're gone. And I don't want it to be at the point where we realize, like, damn, we let such a great coach go because at one point the players have got to do your job. Players have to have accountability, and that's something that I'm challenging us as players. We need to take accountability. How do we let that game go? Coaching can only do so much. It's about timeouts and X's and O's. Great. But sometimes it's about playing football. And I know you can't fire all the players. You got to fire the coach. But that doesn't – you don't have to fire the coach. If you're going to make a change, that's what you end up having to do because you can't fire 53 guys and start with an expansion team. But, again, I am exhausted today by being this, like, lone voice that suggests that maybe this guy doesn't completely suck. So I get it. Our fans are entitled to their opinions. I appreciate them listening to our shows. I appreciate them watching me on television and reading what I write, but I am finished trying to convince people that Matt LaFleur deserves to keep his job. I believe he is going to keep his job. I understand. No, I'm not going after you, Ben. I'm talking about all the people that. I mean, I was just telling Stro, and call me soft, say whatever the hell you want about me. I think people know that I take my job, which is not curing childhood cancer, seriously, that as a conduit to fans. I'm sorry you don't like what I'm telling you as that conduit, because what you'd like for me to be telling you is the Packers are firing Matt LaFleur. And I'm not here to report that, because that's not, I mean, there's still some steps that have to be gone through here, and they have to reach an agreement on a contract. But as Schefter and Rappaport and Pelissero, they've all heard the same things I have, that the team president wants him to still be the coach.
And
I'm sorry that you disagree.
Jason, really quickly, because some people think that it's just they're going to give an offer, because I think even, I forgot who it was, but, it was Rob Demovsky who said there might be a possibility where they just give him an offer, but it's not exactly what he wants. Do you think this is just all a show, or do you think legitimately the Packers are going to offer him what he's worth? Because regardless of how fans may feel about the playoff record and the collapses, he's still one of the best coaches in the NFL and is going to get paid that way.
Yeah, and again, I don't know what I have not talked to Matt beyond a couple of text messages, and none of it being specifically about any of these things. But if he wants to chase the dollar and thinks, I don't know what would be considered insulting of an offer from them. I don't think this isn't the same as I don't think anyway, like when you lowballed Jordy Nelson or Devontae Adams, so you can say that you made an offer, but it was not exactly in good faith. It was just to be able to say you gave an offer. I don't think that Ed Policy is in the business of doing that. Again, I can't say that for certain, but I don't. The question that I would have as it pertains to that, and I think Rob and I have probably heard similar things, would be if, depending on what he wants to put the most value in, right? Like, I can tell you this, his kids don't want to leave, right? I mean, who would when you're 12 years old or whatever and you have your friends and everything else? How does he weigh that? And how does he weigh, he does, my understanding is he's got a really good relationship with Ed Policy. How does he weigh that versus, okay, well, let's say the Packers offer me $13 million a year and they add 2 years to my deal. So I'd be under contract for 26, 27, and 28. Is that what I want? Or do I want to go start fresh? I know I've seen a couple of people suggest that maybe he doesn't feel as appreciated here and maybe he would feel more appreciated elsewhere. But do I go somewhere else and they're going to pay me more? And maybe my voice will be a little more heated than by the Packers. Again, I don't know what team that would be or what that would look like. If he chooses that, if he thinks that's better for him, then he should do that. But I think if I know Matt, and I don't pretend that he's one of my best friends that I know the way I know other people, but if that's how he feels, then he needs to go that direction. But if he believes still that this is the place for him, and the way he answered my question the other day, I think that he still does believe that, then he has to weigh the other parts of this equation, including how happy he is here, how much he likes the quarterback, how much he likes the talent that he has on this team, and that he believes that they can win a Super Bowl. I mean, I'll tell you what, man, talking to Tucker Kraft today, and he, of course, delivered the same caveat I always do when we're talking about this. But, if him and Parsons stay healthy, these guys are in the NFC Championship game. I am convinced of that.
You missed your
and I just Zach, by the way, Zach Tom not being available, glad you bring that up. I mean, the guy was going to try and play with a partial tear of his patellar tendon.
Oh, wow. I didn't know how bad it was.
Which is the injury that the Carolina left tackle suffered on Saturday. Saturday, was it? And now he's facing he might miss all of next season because of when it occurred. So, again, I get it. And my only pet peeve is that this group of people that they reflexively say, well, look at what the 49ers are doing. Yeah, and now they lost George Kittle too. Yeah. Kyle Shanahan has been phenomenal this year at figuring out a way. Now, is there a question to be asked about, did John Lynch do a better job of creating a deeper roster than the Packers did? I don't know. I don't know their roster well enough. But I do know this. A year ago, they were besieged by injuries too in San Francisco, and they finished 5-12. So let's not pretend that they have all the answers and they are always just going to get through the injury bug and have success, because they didn't do it last year. Certainly the Packers did not. They did not manage all the setbacks of all the injuries as well as they would have hoped and gone farther than they ended up going. But again, my biggest issue is that I always see things in shades of gray, and that there are so many different factors in how a season turns out. And it just feels from where I sit that the mentality is this is all the coach's fault, and we need a new head coach. And if that's how you feel, go right away.
Jason. Yeah, Jason, obviously Kyle is of team Jason and what you're sharing. I think I don't want
anybody to be team Jason.
Jason,
I want people to be able to look at this and say there are multiple reasons why this team did not go as far
100%. But I think what I think people I am getting a feel of, maybe not all, is if you look at the sample size and the moments and the playoff records and the way, like, again, we had talked about how Ed Policy may do something if it's a blowout, but he's not planning on it. But you can look at being up 21-3 and how that third quarter went, and how the same way that you played the Bears in those two games played out very similarly. And then they did what they did in the fourth quarter. They blew some leads in this season. They made a one-score game in 2020. They lost in the de facto playoff game of 2022 against the Lions. No matter what you think about the team, there's just a lot of moments and trends that people are starting to feel, which I think is valid over the larger sample size if they are going to feel that way as well.
Should Jeff Hafley get a head coaching job after his defense gave up 25 points in the fourth quarter?
I would say that Matt LaFleur should have probably not tried to run out the clock for the last 30 minutes, and they could have driven the ball down the field a little bit more aggressively.
Tried to run out the clock for the last 30 minutes? He threw the ball 75% of the time.
And he threw the ball the first play of the second
half.
I
get it, but how about some quicker pass? Like, he's a good enough
plays.
He's a good enough coach.
They lost all rhythm, Jason. Quickly. Immediately.
They definitely lost all rhythm. Their offensive line couldn't block anybody.
So how about a quick pass?
That I agree with. Quick passes, something. Try to attack the perimeter.
If the run game isn't there with Josh Jacobs like it was in the first quarter,
Bears adjusted and the Packers didn't, Jason.
Yeah, and it's the same thing for 3 games in a row. And there's 6 games where they've blown leads, and in games that they've won, they've blown leads. So that's just this year. There are trends that show. I can see why people are losing faith in Matt LaFleur, that he gets you to a certain point, but not past that next point that you want to go.
Mm-hmm. I totally understand why they feel that way.
Players are talking about accountability, and they're saying all the right things, right? Micah Parsons, Tucker Kraft, all that kind of stuff. I think what fans are frustrated about, and I could even say, us or at least me, like wondering behind the veil of like what is the culture that Matt LaFleur is setting? Would you describe, because you see these things come out in big moments, right? Lack of discipline, maybe lack of accountability, mental errors, that's on players and coaches. And it's one thing for it to happen one game, it's another thing to happen over several years when the big game arrives. Do you feel like Matt LaFleur emphasizes that enough? Because this is a fairly immature team, so that in the big moment, they are ready for it.
Yeah, I would defer to you. You played in the NFL. How much can a coach emphasize things to immature players that it is his fault, and how much can he emphasize them so that it is their fault?
Well, I don't know how he holds guys accountable in film, on the practice field, what guys are saying. It does seem like he is maybe closer to being tight with the players, maybe more than he is of being a more firm.
I mean, what we know is Keyshawn Nixon came out of the game in one of the games against the Bears, went back in, and then he's jumping on a pile. Like, again, like some of the same mistakes that are costing you came into play here. So, that goes to coaching and culture, in my opinion, because I was like, again, that's how I look at it from
I just
coaching
think
player
it's so
perspective.
overblown for a coach. How many games he has won? We sit here. Yes, there has been collapses, but there's been a lot of comebacks that he has led this team come back in the second half. Like, I understand, like, we aren't happy because we're not winning championships, but not a lot of teams win championships. Was this year a complete and utter disappointment? Hell yeah, it was. But understand this. I said it last week, and I'll keep saying it now. The grass ain't always greener on the other side. Y'all was crying, and not saying Ben was crying, but y'all wanted Paul Chris fired, and now look at the organization now. So I'm just telling y'all.
It's on the up and up.
Sometimes change ain't exactly what you need in the time. Sometimes you need to ride it out. I think Matt LaFleur should get one more year. One more year to see what the heck happens.
Jason, obviously this debate is going to continue. If you have something for Jason, go ahead, Brad.
Well, just real quick. So I agree with Kyle. You can't just fire him and figure it out later. You have to have someone that you think is an upgrade from Matt LaFleur before you go ahead and make that move. But you said you defer to me. I can say my 2 years in Jacksonville, first year under Gus Bradley, we had tons of talent, but we won 3 games. Not the same, but we were completely it was too much buddy-buddy. It was too much friendly. There was no rules. There was no discipline, no accountability. But Tom Coughlin and Doug Marrone swoop in the next year, tighten everything up. Pendulum swings the other ways. We're in the NFC Championship the next year with very similar personnel. So I've seen lack of accountability and discipline, and I've seen accountability and discipline. I'm just curious where Matt LaFleur falls on that spectrum. Because if you say that he does, then I'd say, shoot, it is the player's fault. They got to wake up and rise to the moment. But I just don't know how he coaches these guys. And you guys, you have a little bit more of an inside view than we do.
Yeah, probably not enough, though, to speak intelligently on that. I would say this, like, if I'm going to be critical, one example I would say is you benched Carrington Valentine for lack of physicality against the run in that Baltimore game. You don't play him at all against Minnesota. You do see what you could potentially get from Trayvon Diggs, and then you still go with Carrington Valentine in the game on Saturday night. Diggs played 1 defensive snap. So that would be an example where I would say, hey, wait a minute now. Maybe, and obviously it's unfortunate, but this is part of it. Like, who ends up getting beaten for the game-winning touchdown, right? So there's no one answer. Does Matt LaFleur have to be tougher on guys? Probably. Again, I don't know. I'm not in his meetings when he is criticizing guys in film. But their offensive line was terrible in the second half. Absolutely terrible. Mm-hmm. And is that a lack of accountability? Is that a lack of talent? Is it a lack of focus? Whatever it was, that group did not rise to the occasion. It was missing its right tackle, but again, that can't be the only reason why you can't block it up. And again, I understand that there are limits to what you can do about your players. And most of the time, in the end, it comes down to the coach. And you're not going to get rid of everybody else. I will just say this. I am very curious to see how he alters his approach next year, assuming that ends up being the situation. I am very curious to see, because I don't think you can also suddenly decide to be someone you're not, right? And if he is more, he's not going to turn into Dan Campbell in how he treats players, and nor should he, because you have to be who you are. But is there not enough accountability? Maybe. Again, I'm not in there to know that. I would say that the old Bobby Knight thing about ass meets bench, ass sends message to brain to play better, or whatever he used to say, I think there's truth to that for sure. And using Carrington Valentine as the one example, that's probably a scenario where you could say maybe they should have tried something different there. But would I be saying that if he hadn't given up the game-winning touchdown? He also had an interception earlier in the game, which I understand people wanted him to drop on purpose, which I think is pretty hard to do when it's a reaction. But again, what I am frustrated by is that by trying to present both sides of this argument, I am somehow carrying the water for LaFleur. And he is definitely deserving of criticism, especially this whole idea of how his teams have not risen to the moment when the moment has been there. They went to 2 NFC championship games with Aaron Rodgers. By the way, in 2018, Aaron Rodgers was clearly headed in the wrong direction. And in the first 3 years with Matt LaFleur, he turned that around and he won 2 MVPs. And they had home field during COVID for the NFC championship game, and they didn't get it done. So I don't think if I'm going to have to choose who I'm going to listen to on whether or not he deserves more time, I am most likely going to put my faith in Tucker Kraft and Micah Parsons because, again, I don't think you have to give quite as strong of a statement of support as those guys gave. You can still say the right things and check that box and then be done with it. And those guys, I thought, and I had a long conversation with Xavier McKinney too. Again, take that for what it's worth. But I think there are players that genuinely would disagree with the narrative that's been created.
Well, Jason, we appreciate the time, and we'll talk to you on Thursday.
All right, guys, take care. Be good.
Jason Wilde and Tausch, 9 to noon across these very stations. We're back with more. If you have not gotten your voice heard, we'll get to you on the Carbus Talking text line next.
This is Kyle Brust Nortman.
Love you.
What?
Love you.
Love you too.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Southbound on 43 from about Fond du Lac Avenue down through the Marquette onto the high-rise bridge is going to be a little slow. Westbound on 94, we've got backups just before 35th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound has just got a little tiny chunk of slowdown right past 70th Street, not even to Hawley Road, so at least we got that going for us. No other incidents as far as anything in traffic that's going to slow you down. Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner, dedicated to helping businesses do business better. Visit jamesimaging.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, increasing clouds, a low of 32. Tomorrow, slight chance for rain, partly cloudy, a high of 45. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, it's Gary Ellison for Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center. Looking to escape the cold or take a midday break? Get your game on at Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center, where it's always golf season. Play more than 2,000 courses, including over 50 right here in Wisconsin. And even that famous course where they hand out green jackets. Top tech simulators, great food, and the best Bloody Marys around. This is your year-round slice of summer. Bays start at just $35 an hour, Monday through Friday. Book your bay today at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Experience hot gaming action and a relaxing spa day. Your perfect winter getaway at the island. Book a stay and float package to get both a standard room and a rejuvenating 60-minute float pod therapy session for less than $100. Complement your stay with an elevated dining experience at Horizon Steakhouse and fun on the gaming floor where big wins wait for you. The Island Resort and Casino's stay and float package runs through February. Call 800-682-6040 to book yours today. Certain days and restrictions apply.
When winter hits Wisconsin hard, Safe Plow hits back. Founded by two locals who know winter inside and out, Safe Plow delivers no-tolerance snow removal, meaning they're on it before, during, and after every storm for hospitals, retail centers, and all businesses that can't afford downtime. From small driveways to massive parking lots, Safe Plow's dedicated team keeps your property clear, safe, and accessible, prioritizing handicap ramps and disabled parking every time. At Safe Plow, they handle the blizzard, you handle your business. Serving Madison, Milwaukee, and all of southeastern Wisconsin. Book now at safeplow.com.
Did you know Professional Construction Inc. has an in-house team of interior designers? We're
excited to bring our expertise to you with our brand new virtual interior design program. Maybe you're not ready for a full construction project, but you are ready to refresh that outdated room. Our PCI design team creates stunning photorealistic renderings, a mood board, and a curated shopping list, all delivered to you in just days.
For all your construction and design needs,
visit professionalconstructioninc.com.
Homer here for Window Nation. Winters can be brutal here in Milwaukee, and if you're cold in your home, even with the heat on, your old windows are a problem. Window Nation can help. Right now, during Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 Windows free sale, you can get them with 0 down, 0 monthly payments, and 0 interest for 2 years. It's easy to get the right windows to fit your home and budget. The pros at Window Nation will guide you every step of the way. Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Right now, schedule a consult at windownation.com.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Bought my wife some tennis lessons at the Princeton Club, and each Princeton Club has an amazing vibe. You have that community aspect. Clean health clubs, steam room, sauna, the best workout equipment, personal training, you name it, they have it. So whatever your goal is, if you're looking for growth, I got the place for you, and that's the Princeton Club in the Madison area. You got a bunch in the Madison area. Of course, New Berlin has an amazing center in the Milwaukee area. For your better tomorrow, don't wait. Get the best rate of the year in 2026. Right now at the Princeton Club, get that tour, and you will fall in love, and you will find your better tomorrow at the Princeton Club. Ben Brust, Brad Nortman, Kyle Wallace taking a tinkle. Alex Stro running the show. UKBN Nation at 800-990-3776. This is more. YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. So that was an interesting approach, and I'm seeing some reaction on the Carbless Talking text line. If you missed Jason Wilde, you can go back and listen on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee or the ESPN Wisconsin app. To be honest, I don't know how much I care about Tucker Kraft and Micah Parsons putting their name on Matt LaFleur, right? Like,
Of course they're going to say that.
You should, right? Like, he's still the coach, and yeah, they're like, anytime you spend time with somebody, like you come in as Tucker Kraft, you were drafted by the organization, he's had a resurgence in his position under him. He is a leader and whatnot, but like, ultimately, you need to continue to ask yourself, is this the guy in, what do we describe this as? The prime window? Like, I mean, I think I'm going to...
Yeah.
Is Matt LaFleur the guy that you want leading in this prime of Jordan Love and Micah Parsons based off the 7 years that we've seen from him? You got to continue to ask yourself that. And yes, you can put weight on this Bears game. Maybe it's not the whole 100%, but you can put however much weight you want on it. Because up 21-3 is unacceptable. I don't care if they pass the ball 75% of the time. I don't care what it was. It's the way in which he is the head coach calling the plays that it should never have gotten to a point where you had a situation where the Bears could come back when you know that is what they do, and you've seen it twice. It's like the fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, I'm an idiot.
Well, and Jason makes a good point, right? We brought up Jeff Hafley. How much should the defense be criticized for them giving up like 300 yards and all those points? Yes, they deserve some blame for this, absolutely. And the offense deserves blame for not sustaining drives. I mean, if they kept it to 4 total drives for each in the second half, the Packers would win this game purely because they are draining clock and working the ball down the field. The thing is, and Matt LaFleur knows this, blame goes and swims upstream to the head coach, right? Yes, you could look at special teams. Yes, you could look at the kicker, Kyle. He missed his kicks, and if he would have made all of them, the Packers probably would have won.
Bad punt coverage as well.
Bad punt coverage. You've got things that are multiple across different things. It's not like one guy got picked on all game. It's defense. It's special teams. It's execution. It's game management. It's offensive flow. When there are so many issues, which is the only way a team can come back like the Bears. In the second half, when you're up that much, so many issues have to occur. You have to flow it back to one man who is holding the whole team responsible, and that's the head coach. So is there plenty of blame to go around? Absolutely, there's plenty of blame to go around. But Matt LaFleur knows that it falls on the head coach, and this is a results-based business. That's pro football. And Matt knows that he has to be held accountable in some way. Now, again, the Packers should only completely move on in 2026 if they have a candidate that they are absolutely head over heels in love with that can answer that question that Ben just asked. Who is the right coach, the right head coach to maximize this prime window of Jordan Love and Micah Parsons? Maybe it's Matt LaFleur. If there's someone you know it's better, then you go get that man. But you can't fire Matt LaFleur and then figure it out later. You might have bigger problems if that's the case, but you have to ask the question at least.
Yeah, at the end of the day, how much I want to talk about special teams, because, again, I believe that special teams played an integral role in the loss for the Green Bay Packers. There's other things, but if special teams plays a lot better, the Green Bay Packers are playing in Seattle. But at the end of the day, the buck stops here, and that is with Matt LaFleur. Matt LaFleur, it does fall on because he oversees this team. If he sees the bleeding, it is on him to stop it. Whether it's the defense, which he is not the defensive coordinator, but he's the head coach. If he sees some bleeding, he has to be able to stop it. Offensively, he sees something not going right, he has to be able to get that momentum going. He needs to understand that everything that happens on that field falls on him, and he's not going to deflect or anything else. He's going to take that full burden, that full responsibility. So I know there's a lot of different areas that we can point fingers at, but at the end of the day, it falls on Matt LaFleur for not being able to find a way for his team to win that game on Saturday. For Matt LaFleur not being able to find a way to move the chains in the third quarter, to eat the clock up and to score. It is on Matt LaFleur for his quarterback taking shots to the end zone on their second to last drive where they threw it to Luke Musgrave, and I think the other one, Romeo Dobbs in the end zone, taking those shots like that. It is on Matt LaFleur for calling a timeout, and out of the timeout, having a delay of game. And after the game, when you ask Jordan Love, he can't even get an answer for what happened. That all falls on Matt LaFleur. So how much I'm talking about, I want to bring Matt LaFleur back, he still will take the fall for this game.
Laveril in Milwaukee, you're on the Carbless Talking text line with KBN.
Hey, how's it going, fellas?
Yo.
Doing all right.
What's that?
Hey, thanks for accepting my call. It's actually Laveril, but I got you. So
Laveril. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, no. So I hear everyone, and they're just bagging on Matt LaFleur, right? And I get it, like, you have to direct the blame somewhere. But if you talk about teams that have gone on to win the Super Bowl, you have to have a defensive player that takes ownership. The Packers went out and got Micah Parsons from the Dallas Cowboys, but he went out, and there was no one to fill that void. So I understand that you want to place the blame on Matt LaFleur, but what I personally believe is that without a star defender to change the game, change the outcome of a second half of a football game, you're not going to go far into the playoffs at all. And this is coming from like any of the recent Super Bowl winners, where you talk about like Brandon Graham with the Philadelphia Eagles, or Chris Jones with the Chiefs, or
we get Aaron Donald. Like, there's definitely an impactful interior defensive lineman that does help teams get to the Super Bowl. I think the thing that I go to, and it's good that you bring it up, is I don't care if there's Micah Parsons or not. The loss is unacceptable in the second half.
It is, and like I completely agree. The minute Micah Parsons got injured, you kiss goodbye to all Super Bowl odds, right? You kiss goodbye to them. But we're not talking about the Super Bowl. We're talking about the wild card round against the Bears, a team that you've dominated at least like. Not when it mattered. Not in the fourth quarter.
You're up 18. No excuses.
You're up 18, and you're cooking offensive and defensively. That wild range of inconsistency can only be pointed back to coaching because they had the game won. It was there. So we're not talking about winning a Super Bowl. You had a game won. You were clearly, overpowering the Bears in every way, but you did thing after thing after thing, which caused you the game. And yes, there's plenty of blame to go around. Kickers and defense and execution and whatever. But
it's bad that you can point to all three phases.
It flows back to Matt LaFleur and things that are laid in the foundation, not only just months ago, but years ago.
Let's make somebody's day. I'm going to give an Iron Jock hat away on the other side. Don't go anywhere. It's Kyle Brust Nortman.
This is Kyle Brust Nortman, KBN.
I legitimately understand sugar.
Is it good, Brad?
It's unbelievable. It's so good. I'm changed. Not for the better.
Come on.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. All the antics.
The reason he's not running the ball real well this year is because his pants are way too high. You see him pull his pants up? Check it out.
All the action.
How do you have a delay a game after a timeout? How on God's green earth? It's almost like he's in over his head. You need better assistant coaches. I'm sorry.
The best of both worlds lives right here. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Can you feel it? It's the thrill of witnessing a walk-off grand slam, a game-winning touchdown, a buzzer-beating 3. Yeah, you know the feeling. And there's only one place to experience that raw exhilaration. Potawatomi Sportsbook. Catch all the action in a supreme space with dozens of sports betting kiosks, cool drinks, luxe seating, great food, fiery atmosphere, and a monster video wall. Become a legend at Potawatomi Sportsbook. More info online. Must be 21 to enter casino.
Monica, we've got to hand it to you.
You and the design team have outdone yourselves.
Are you talking about the One collection?
Those rings say you are the one.
And they say it symbolically.
Describe the symbols.
Every ring in the One collection should be presented with a special ritual.
What would that ritual be?
You pick up her left hand and you place a kiss on her ring finger.
Rick, you never told me about that part.
Then you show her the tiny red diamond, flush mounted inside the ring, that will forever be in contact with her finger.
Why is it red?
Because that's when the giver says to the one, wherever you go, my heart goes with you.
I give you this kiss. I give you my heart.
The red diamond is a secret symbol of that sacred moment.
The center diamond on the outside of the ring is for the whole world to see.
But the tiny red created diamond inside the ring is only for the two of them.
The One collection of engagement rings is available exclusively at Kessler's.
To find the Kesslers nearest you,
visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Kick off the new year with a smarter home and bigger savings with Exterior Pros and Baths. New windows to lock in the warmth, durable roofing, eye-catching siding, or a stunning bath makeover. Start the year off right and get $3,000 off your project. That's right, $3,000 back in your pocket during our New Year savings event. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. This deal won't last all winter. Exterior Pros and Baths. New year, new home, done right.
UW Credit Union presents the Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org.
With your UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, I'm Will Summers. This week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week is Wisconsin Lutheran senior and Northern Iowa commit Xavier Zenz. Zenz delivered a championship-clinching performance at the Beach Ball Classic in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, knocking down a buzzer-beating three-pointer to lift number 15 Wisconsin Lutheran to a 57-54 win over North Crowley in the traditional bracket title game. Zenz finished with a game-high 26 points, shooting 9 of 12 from the field, 4 of 5 from 3, and 4 of 4 from the free throw line. He scored the final 7 points of the game, including the game-winning shot as time expired. Over the 3-game tournament, Zenz averaged 26.3 points per game, earning MVP honors while leading the Vikings to the championship. Congratulations to Xavier Zenz, your UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
Dinner chaos? Not tonight. Not when you got Screamin' Sicilian Detroit-style pizza on the table. It's got a thick and airy crust, that crispy, caramelized edge, tons of toppings baked into perfection right in its own pan. Available in cheese. You got the pepperoni, the multi-meat. Supreme is fantastic, all delicious. Every bite brings a little peace and harmony to the table. It's Screamin' Sicilian Detroit-style. Dinner drama diffused. Find it in your local grocer's freezer section.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
New year, new goals, and Iron Jock is here to help you stick to those goals, whether you're hitting the gym or good and heading to work or trying to smell a whole lot better. Iron Jock has amazing gear. Wore it on Saturday. Wore it on Sunday. Saturday was basketball. Sunday was my favorite hoodie that I wear around the house on the weekend. You can get 30% off all of your Iron Jock gear on orders over $75. Use promo code ESPN30 at checkout. That's promo ESPN30 at checkout. Look good, smell great, and start the year strong with Iron Jock. And let's be caller number 12 to win an Iron Jock hat right now. 800-990-3776. Again, 800-990-3776. We'll go caller, what did I say, Stro? 12? Caller 12, 800-990-3776 to win that Iron Jock hat. All right, Kyle, did the clown of David Kaplan call you?
Bro, I'm sitting here at my house after the Packer game with all
That's
these
host of ESPN 1000.
all these people at my house that I enjoy baby girl's family, but it was supposed to be a holiday party, not a Packer party. And when they were all dressed in Packers gear, I knew I was in trouble, that they were going to be here past 7. So at the end of the game, I got kids running around my house still as if the Packers didn't just lose. And I get this phone call from a Chicago area code, and I'm like, who is this? What is this? And I said, well, I wonder if it's Cap. I don't really know. So I say, hello, Kyle. Well, I say, hello. He said, is this Kyle Wallace? I said, yes, him speaking. You bleeping bleep. You never bleeping bleep bleep Caleb Williams. You bleep. I said, whoa. Like, you yelling at the fuck. I got kids around me. And he was like, you don't bleep and never trust bleeping Caleb Williams. I said, Cap.
You could tell it was Cap. He didn't even introduce himself.
No, he didn't even introduce himself.
What do you mean you can tell?
It's
who else
unmistakable.
is calling my phone before? Don't have his number saved. Never once text or called me ever. But he calls me, he yells, and then I'm like, Cap. I said, hey, congratulations, your team won. He's like, thanks, man. You too. Have a good day. I was like, this man is crazy, and that's what I'm saying. Like, listen,
was it a FaceTime?
No, I don't have a.
You would have got the FaceTime,
bro. But listen, the Packers beat the Bears 11 straight times. Did you call Cap one time?
No, I'm not thinking
That's what
about
I'm saying. I'm like, dude, this is insanity.
Man. That is too funny.
He was swearing like a sailor.
I got kids. Oh, it's all about the kids.
No, for real. I was like, hey.
Jim, Matt, and Molly are next in Madison. Damn Sports Show in Beaver Dam. We continue with you till 5 o'clock. A whole lot more to get to still. If you want your voice heard, you know what to do. Kyle, Brust Nortman on 94.5 ESPN, YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee, and, of course, the ESPN Wisconsin app. We're back in 2 short minutes. Do not go anywhere.
KBN's the show that never ends.
Southbound 43 slowing down from North Avenue all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. Westbound 94 really kind of hitting the brakes just about at 20th Street all the way to Hawley Road. The eastbound side slowing down from about 84th Street all the way to Hawley Road as well. And 41 southbound, we're seeing some delays from Capitol Drive down towards Burleigh. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, increasing clouds, a low of 32. Tomorrow, slight chance for rain, partly cloudy otherwise, a high of 45. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Your New Year routine just got a major refresh thanks to Carbless. Staying mindful, Carbless has 0 sugar and 0 carbs. Watching calories? We've got you covered. Still want something bold and delicious? Well, that's our specialty at Carbless. Whether you're out celebrating or settling into post-holiday goals, Carbless keeps things light, fun, and completely guilt-free. Start your 2026 with flavor and no compromise. Celebrate the new year with bold flavor, 0 guilt, and a drink that keeps things light. Happy New Year from Carbless. Let's make your new year feel flawless.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN on 94.5 ESPN. the ESPN Wisconsin app, and streaming live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. The 414 Hour on KBN is brought to you by Siding Unlimited. Siding Unlimited is Wisconsin's leader in Pella window installation. Looking for new windows, siding, roof, and doors? Visit them at sidingunlimited.com.
It's the 414 Hour at 4 on KBN. I don't hit the damn mic with my lip. Hey, it's just getting worse. I done got some bacteria infection from this damn thing.
Good to see Jason J. Wilde in the YouTube chat. Be careful out there, Jason. YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee, at ESPN Madison. It's Kyle Brust Nortman with you till 5 o'clock, leading you into the Homer Hour. I'm Ben Brust alongside Kyle Wallace and Brad Nortman. Alex Stro doing a pretty good job running the show.
Have I cracked my mic yet today? Have I said anything?
That's
on the
why
show
you're doing a pretty good job. That's why it's been a great show from you.
Or maybe at the start of the show.
You know what? Give me a Strofe minute. Hit the timer. Strofe minute. 2 hours of KBN.
Yeah.
Give us what you got, buddy.
All righty. Hold on 1 second.
Strofe really
down from pretty good.
Strofe really switched up on Matt LaFleur real quick.
So here's where I'm at. If you want to make the case for firing Matt LaFleur, I'll hear it. And I understand why one would make it. To see in another embarrassing meltdown in which you look like a different team that played in the first half on that stage of the wild card end of the playoffs, I can hear it. I don't think long-term it's a wise decision right now to move on from Matt LaFleur. I think he's earned at least another year just making the playoffs 6 of 7 years. It's so hard to win in the NFL, and he's consistently done it no matter who's playing quarterback for him, whether that be Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love, or freaking Malik Willis. So he deserves credit in that capacity. However, he can't win the big game. And it's starting to get to a level of concern for me where I go, will he ever win the big game? The only coach that's gone 7 years with one team and then won a Super Bowl is Bill Cowher. Pretty good company if Matt LaFleur is able to win the big game, but it's Super Bowl or bust in 2026 as far as I'm concerned for Matt LaFleur. That is 60 seconds.
Was it actually 60 seconds?
60 seconds on the dot.
Clean.
That's Alex Strofe. Again, if you want to get something off your chest, Strofe will work the phones at 800-990-3776, the Carbless Talk and text line. Brent, I see you've been holding. We'll get to you on the Carbless Talk and text line. You are Team Kyle, so let's hear it.
Yeah, I am. I think we're overreacting just a little bit. We're close. I mean, if it wasn't for some injuries and some horrific special teams, we'd still be playing right now. But I think who helped me the most with this was Kyle. Yesterday, you were very level-headed yesterday morning. I woke up sad and ready to wanting LaFleur gone, and you were just very level-headed on the whole thing. And I think we're close, and maybe this is that moment that gets us over the hump, because we all agree that we were not going to the Super Bowl this year. That's the ultimate goal. I could care less. We beat Chicago, big deal. We lose the next round, okay? Maybe this is what needs to happen in that organization to wake them up to realize, hey, we're close. We just need an attitude adjustment maybe. I don't know what it is, but maybe we're close. And I don't want to give up on it yet. We're close. What's one more year? Maybe we win it next year. We go on a great run.
Hey, Brent, I think it's an interesting perspective. Again, there's going to be a lot more, I'm sure, now that I've reopened the phone lines that feel differently. But the only thing I will say is it keeps coming to, if it wasn't for this, this, and this, right? How many times do we talk about a game in which the Packers lost where we're pointing to this, this, and this? That's where I get like kind of sick of having the same conversation. But that being said, I do like his point. I'm not confident in what I'm about to say next, but taking this moment and turning it into all right, never again. The problem is when you see Tom Silverstein, Bill Huber, guys that have covered the Packers say they can understand why Matt LaFleur should no longer be the head coach. It's not very common in the Green Bay media space to have that sort of strong opinion. And so when I just feel like if it was a different scenario in which they didn't lose the same way, or yes, it was basically the same way as game 2. Game 1, Keyshawn Nixon picked out the pass. So again, it was more so it's the trends, it's the themes that you always keep coming back to in the back of your head. And I just asked the people like Brent, who I understand his point about like, and in Strofe, when you did your Strofe minute there, like he's a good coach. He's made the playoffs X amount of years. It's hard to win the NFL. The biggest thing that stands out to me, though, is the big game. And when you're going through next year in the regular season, all you're going to be thinking about is this the coach in every game you're watching him coach? The guy that can win the big game, the guy that needs to win multiple big games, right? Like that's ultimately going to be in the back of everyone's head if this does happen. So I like the perspective. You just got to ask yourself if it is one more year of Matt LaFleur or whatever Ed Policy and LaFleur figure out, if you're going to go into next year and you're going to be confident that with what happened against the Bears and over the last 7 years, that next year is the year. It's hard for me. You know, a lot of times the things are done in progression. And when you see what happened in his first year with Love, it was amazing. And then it was kind of okay, iffy. You know, they lost to the bad teams.
They won 11 games. No, they lost to the good teams. They beat the bad teams. They won 11 games.
And
they
then
regressed
this year, you can, like, no doubt, Kyle, Micah Parsons, forget Tucker Kraft, because you could say, obviously he's important, but the offense was able to find some things with Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur after Tucker Kraft in the regular season and in the first half of the Bears game. They have a lot of weapons. Jordan Love's paid $55 million to do something. It was the defense of losing Micah Parsons. They're 0-5 without Micah Parsons. So there's been 3 seasons of data with Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur. And you can use prior to 2022 when they lost to the Lions. You can use one-score game in 2020. You can use you lost inexplicably with bad special teams and a
terrible
number
offense.
1 seed with the offense with Aaron Rodgers and how they were still good in that year. Like, you just have to take everything. Ask yourself, when I say right now, ask yourself, don't close your eyes as you're driving. You close your eyes and you think of the 2026 Green Bay Packers and you see Matt LaFleur as the head coach. Can he be the guy to win the big game? What do you open your eyes and what are you feeling? And then you tell us on the Carbos Talk and text line.
I mean, it's a great question. It's a question that needs to get answered. And that's why this doesn't feel like a knee-jerk Monday morning quarterback reaction, because you're taking a sample size over the full 7 years of Matt LaFleur. And my fear is fans feel this way. We in media feel this way. I'm sure the players are very aware of it and feel this way, where it doesn't feel like any lead is safe. And you just wonder, is even a great regular season going to amount to anything in a one-and-done type playoff format? And, I mean, let's not forget, Matt LaFleur is the quarterback's coach for the Atlanta Falcons when they were up 28-3 in that Super Bowl. So, I mean, there's obviously way bigger coaches on the staff that are, setting the pace and the rhythm, and Kyle Shanahan was the OC, so I mean, he's a really good coach. But you just wonder if there is a sense of fear or a sense of hesitation that comes over Matt LaFleur in these settings. You can't doubt that he's a good coach. I still believe he's a good coach. You can't doubt that he's a great offensive mind. But there are other things that need to be part of your repertoire if you're going to be a Super Bowl level head coach. That includes great in-game decisions. That includes accountability. One of the reasons why I asked Jason Wilde, hey, what's he like with these guys? What is the culture of the team? Is there accountability? Is there discipline? I kind of get the feeling that Matt LaFleur is like tight with these guys and then tries to be hard later instead of being hard on these guys early and then warming up to them and being nice later. I don't know if he is the guy that can get them there. He clearly has shown he can't be a big game coach, but this is where it gets interesting, because he is not going to accept an extension that isn't paying him due money with due levels of years on the contract. So Ed Policy is going to have to decide, do I give him $13, $15 million a year in another 3 years? I would love to just say, you know what, one more year. Just run it back one more year. And if not, he becomes a free agent. He's not going to do that. So that's why this becomes interesting. You have to either say, he's not our guy, and we're going a different direction, or you have to extend him.
Man, it's the NFL. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe y'all can help me a little bit. Who cares if he gives them a 3-year extension? If the team goes 6-11 next year and Matt LaFleur just signed a 3-year extension, you think Ed Policy ain't gonna fire him?
I'm with you there. I hate when the Packers when the Packers cry poor when it doesn't go against the cap, and we know the financials are sitting pretty in that bank account.
Yes,
it is a definitely a bunch of malarkey.
No
I would rather give Matt LaFleur, so if he wants a 3-year deal,
if you don't have your guy,
I would rather give him the sense of security to lead this team, because at the end of the day, I'm telling y'all this right now, this Packers team is not super far off. And for me, I hope they use this as motivation. And I know I alluded to it earlier about how this team, it seems like when they set a certain goal where they want to prove something, they prove it, but then they drop off in other places. I hope they use this as motivation to understand that we have to finish games. This entire offseason should be about how do we change to make sure we finish games? How do we go and we get an edge in toughness? How do we get some dogs in between the whistles, not outside of the whistle?
Getting an edge in toughness is hard after 7 years of being a head coach.
We need more jerks. We need more guys.
I said that. We need more badasses,
but this is this whole offseason should be about how many dudes can we bring around that like to hit guys in the mouth? How many loose cannons can we bring around? How many guys can we get to tell somebody, hey, get your stuff together, step it up? The Packers need to have a change in attitude. It is time to grow up. It is time for everybody on that roster to grow the hell up and understand that it is bigger than trying to beat the Detroit Lions and trying to beat the Vikings. Like that. That's what got them excited. They were excited to beat the hell out of the Lions because they couldn't do it last year. So that is the thing where they need to understand it's not just about the Lions game. It is about every time you step out on that football field, you want to dominate and that you want to finish. I do believe Matt LaFleur can get them over that hump, but it's going to take a full collective for them to truly finally get over that hill and take the next step. But it starts with an attitude change this offseason, and Matt LaFleur, I think, can put that in the team, but it also takes the leaders on the team. Brad, your team had that moment where y'all had to put up or shut up, did y'all not? And y'all ended up having a great season.
Yeah, I mean, you're exactly right. There does need to be tough player leaders, and every good team has a healthy group of veteran players that hold everyone else accountable while the head coach does it as well. Now, the head coach needs to sort of like deputize, Tucker Kraft and Micah Parsons and say, hey, I need you guys to be a tough voice onto the players, and I'm going to back you up. I like that strategy. I really do. I don't think Matt LaFleur just saying, hey, I'm going to be tough is going to do it. He needs to say, Jordan, you need to be louder. You need to be tough on guys. Micah, Xavier McKinney, you got to say something. I will back you up. The problem is what happens when Tucker Kraft and Micah Parsons get hurt? Those guys that are now your tough guys holding guys accountable, they're not even on the field anymore. So that's why it's got to be
the culture shift at this point is the hardest thing I think you can
have
ask.
To use the players, you're right.
But the thing that I agree with is, yes, the mindset that you're speaking of is correct, Kyle. The problem is now it's 4 years without, like, I know it's about winning the playoffs, but part of it is a psyche thing, right? Like, it's in stages, right? You haven't won the NFC North under Jordan Love. And if you do that, you put yourself in a position where you have that confidence, you get that home game, you're not, playing on the road. We've seen the 17 thing. So that's why it also is important for them to break through, because I'm done trying to do this.
That's why I was so mad about the Baltimore game.
I agree. You should have a gripe about that.
That was
how much did we talk about how the Bears are likely to lose those last two games?
Listen, that game to me showed me that this team did not care about winning the NFC North. There's no way that you have the opportunity to win the NFC North and you go lay an egg like that. That was not the Green Bay Packers team that we have saw throughout this season. The majority of their losses, minus the Vikings game, which we really don't count because that was literally the backups. The Packers only lost by a score, 3 points, a touchdown. Like, they competed in every single game. That was the big embarrassment, where you had everything still out in front of you after losing to the Bears the way that you did, and you laid that big egg on Saturday night. That was probably the most disappointing game of the season for me, because that team didn't show fight. It didn't show heart. You win that game, and then you beat Minnesota. Now you're in Lambeau on Saturday night, and maybe you have a different outcome. But that right there falls on Matt LaFleur not making sure that these guys are up and ready to go every time they get the opportunity to play a game that they love.
Alicia in Racine, you're on the Carpus Talking text line with KBN.
Hey, guys. I'm a little sick today, but I had to call in and say I totally agree with you. They need to be more smash mouth. They're not tough enough, and Matt LaFleur is playing modern parent. He wants to be their friend and hang out with them and have them like him and everything, instead of discipline their ass. Their butt.
You're fine.
And getting them to play hard and be men, He can't be their pal all the time. Yeah. If somebody's got to make them step up, because they just can't close. It's like I've been saying all the time. They can get the F and the B, but they never get the I.
Yeah. Yeah. Alicia, I don't know what that means, but Alicia, did you ever whoop kids? Did you put on the belt?
Okay.
Well, we know what you're saying.
Belt the ass of the Bears. Belt the ass on these players. That's what they need.
The problem is, as we've discussed, is after 7 years, it's hard to flip that switch.
Yeah, I mean, because Alicia's right. I mean, imagine being the parent that's been the pal and the friend and soft on rules, and then you try to be tough.
What do you do?
Like, okay, yeah.
All right,
what
I'm going to go get the fruit roll-up out of the snack.
Exactly.
What are you going to do to me?
And now the problem is, too, a lot of these maybe that would have worked when these players are like toddlers, right? When they are, rookies. The problem is they're all grown up now.
Nick chimed in. Everything that Kyle just said is all on the coach.
100% on the coach, but I still believe in this coach that has been able to win 70-plus games. I still believe in this coach that has consistently gotten us to the playoffs, but there does need to be a sense of a looking in the mirror and Matt LaFleur realizing where his flaws are and where he can get better. If he meets with Ed Policy and he says, hey, we're going to run it back, then Ed Policy says, you made my decision. If he literally walks in there and says, Rich Bisaccia is coming back, the offensive line is coming back, we're not going to change up what we're doing on offense, then, you know what, Ed Policy should nod his head and be like, okay, thanks, Matt, and then fire Matt LaFleur. But if Matt LaFleur understands that there's some tinkering that needs to be done in order for them to improve and they can't keep going down the same path, they have to look for ways to get better, then that's the type of guy I want. But I do believe this is going to be a motivated team this offseason. Last year, they were talking about it's time to compete for championships. Now they should be talking about it's time for us to get our stuff together and beat the hell out of teams next year.
Petey Pablo wants us to save that clip from Alicia and keep playing it over and over again. Now it's about time. Sunday Karma from 10 to noon on Sundays with Craig Karmazin, Greg Scalzo, Kyle Wallace, and Alex Strofe made some content that is actually repurposable on our airwaves. We're going to hear from Greg Scalzo, Alex, Kyle, and Craig coming up next.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
And you're disrupting my flow.
No, your flow.
Dang nabbit.
Dang nabbit, I had a good flow.
Gee golly willikers.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Southbound on 43, slowing down before North Avenue, all the way down through the Marquette and onto the high-rise bridge. On the northbound side, just a little bit slow as you're making your way into the North Avenue curve. Westbound 94, we are seeing delays from 17th Street all the way past Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound's heavy from 84th Street to just past 68th. Southbound on the bypass, backups from Beloit Road down into the Hale Interchange. Traffic is brought to you by Glenroy, now hiring as the packaging industry rapidly grows. So does Glenroy. Apply today at glenroy.com/careers. That's GLENROY.com/careers. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, increasing clouds, a low of 32. Tomorrow, a slight chance for rain, partly cloudy with a high of 45 otherwise. Weather is brought to you by Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more. Easy and affordable apparel personalization with no minimums and fast turnaround. For all your printing needs, bigfrog.com/Mequon. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Purchase your tickets, grab some friends, and get to the Sylvia on Thursday, January 29th for Andy North Trivia Night presented by Exact Sciences. Enjoy a fun and inspiring evening of trivia, music, food, and refreshments while helping to raise money for UW Carbone Cancer Center. This fun and inspiring event is hosted by Andy North, and along with the trivia, the lineup includes a silent auction, celebrity appearances, and prizes. Doors open at 6. Visit AndyNorthandFriends.com to buy your tickets. Past year's events have sold out quickly, so get your tickets today.
This is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, letting you know that Siding Unlimited installs Pella windows and doors. That's right, Siding Unlimited installs windows, and we do it really well, earning the prestigious Pella Platinum Premier National Certified Contractor of the Year award 5 times. New windows, our expert team will deliver on a smooth, hassle-free installation, making you feel proud of calling Siding Unlimited for your window project. What's the next step? Call 262-567-4513 or go to sidingunlimited.com.
You've already put in the work. Now there's a way to make it count towards your degree. At Lakeland University, your work and life experience can earn you college credit, helping you finish faster, saving time and money. With flexible evening and online classes, plus multiple start dates, Lakeland fits your life. Study 100% online at one of our 6 locations across Wisconsin or on our residential campus in Sheboygan County. Customize your degree to fit your life, your goals, your future, without missing the moments that matter, at work or at home. Your experience matters here. Lakeland University. Experience it your way.
Experience hot gaming action and a relaxing spa day. Your perfect winter getaway at the island. Book a stay and float package to get both a standard room and a rejuvenating 60-minute float pod therapy session for less than $100. Complement your stay with an elevated dining experience at Horizon Steakhouse and fun on the gaming floor where big wins wait for you. The Island Resort and Casino's stay and float package runs through February. Call 800-682-6040 to book yours today. Certain days and restrictions apply.
When winter hits Wisconsin hard, Safe Plow hits back. Founded by two locals who know winter inside and out, Safe Plow delivers no-tolerance snow removal, meaning they're on it before, during, and after every storm for hospitals, retail centers, and all businesses that can't afford downtime. From small driveways to massive parking lots, Safe Plow's dedicated team keeps your property clear, safe, and accessible, prioritizing handicap ramps and disabled parking every time. At Safe Plow, they handle the blizzard, you handle your business. Serving Madison, Milwaukee, and all of southeastern Wisconsin. Book now at safeplow.com.
Did you know Professional Construction Inc. has an in-house team of interior designers? We're excited to bring our expertise to you with our brand new virtual interior design program. Maybe you're not ready for a full construction project, but you are ready to refresh that outdated room. Our PCI design team creates stunning photorealistic renderings, a mood board, and a curated shopping list, all delivered to you in just days.
For all your construction and design needs,
visit professionalconstructioninc.com.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Oh, as all these pro athletes get ready for the offseason, they're getting their bodies right, making sure any pain they have is gone out the window for 2026. And you have to do the same with my friends at QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, and they're right here in Milwaukee. So those achy knees, hips, shoulders, and back, wherever it is that it hurts, QC Kinetics will give you a personalized plan to a pain-free life, getting you feeling better, stronger, and feeling like 2026 is the best year yet. Go take advantage of their cellular therapies and get your free consultation and give them a call today. 2026 could be your best year yet and most pain-free, most importantly. Give them a call at 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
Kyle, Brust, and Nortman with you till 5 o'clock. I have obviously seen more than just LaFleur, Ed Policy, what's next? They blew the game. It's on Matt, his coaching. It's a trend. It's this, it's that. There is a name that has come up quite a bit, and I think it's probably important that we bring him to light, and that's Jeff Hafley, and he was a part of a conversation on Sunday Karma, 10 to noon across ESPN Wisconsin. Here's what Greg, Alex, Kyle, and Craig Karmazin had to say.
I don't know who's hiring Hafley. Like, what am I missing other than he's good at a podium? He was a bad college head coach at Boston College.
Yeah,
he became
a good coordinator here until they got decimated with injuries.
Boston College. Wait. But I think the point is, like, if he's not going somewhere with Micah Parsons, like, then, like,
hey,
what
guys,
does that
I hope
say?
you're right. I would love to have Hafley back.
You would? So why is everyone so excited to have Hafley back if he just gave up 25 points in the fourth quarter, but everyone wants Matt LaFleur gone?
He had a lot of scrubs that he was trying to get to hold on yesterday. I think he.
Then why does everybody think Goody's so good if they've got a bunch of scrubs?
And why is Matt LaFleur so bad if he's the head coach?
I've never once made the argument
Kyle,
that Goody's good.
And everybody's losing their mind.
Ooh, that's a fun show. It's chaos.
That is a fun show.
Yeah, all four of you are like, well, what about this? What about this? What about this?
Just
and again,
Kyle on
to be fair, I think what everyone brought up is a part of the main conversation we're having to now. Where does the blame go? Is it Hafley on the 25 points in the second half? Well, he hasn't had Micah Parsons. And for LaFleur, all the things. And, well, if Hafley's not going to get a job, well, then why do you want him in Green Bay? All the things are here. So, again, Brad, your takeaway from Sunday Karma is what?
Well,
not the show.
Yeah, after digesting that.
Hey, I want to hear both.
Yeah, good points were made for sure, and Hafley deserves some criticism, but I would think to myself, there's not a lot of great defensive coordinators out there, and Jeff Hafley seems like one of them. And yes, we can and absolutely should criticize Goody for his dreadful defensive picks that are across the O-line. There's no excuse for Rashawn Gary, LVN, being so quiet all the time. Decent amount of linebackers and safeties, but the cornerbacks were an absolute miss, something that was not addressed in the offseason. But you got Devontae Wyatt, Micah Parsons.
Here's the thing. I would actually make the argument that the offensive line and cornerbacks were addressed to what Goody thought was right. Right? They signed a guard at a very high price in Aaron Banks.
Oh, you're exactly right. Nate Hobbs.
Nate Hobbs they brought in. They thought moving Elton Jenkins to center was the play, and they were going to move Sean Ryan to guard. And you had Zach Tom that you signed. Rasheed Walker's been in place. Belton was drafted. Jordan Morgan was a first-round draft pick. So, like, if you look at that, the offensive line was addressed. From a cornerback standpoint, they were high on Carrington Valentine as a 7th-round pick who competes, but he was serviceable until he wasn't and getting out-physical out there. He got benched. They bring in Nate Hobbs, who sucked at the start of the year. Keyshawn Nixon is what he is. Like they addressed it, but I wouldn't say that it was good enough. He signed Nate Hobbs to a big contract. He stinked.
They play physical. They play hard. He stunk them up well. The problem is if you don't have a balanced second half, they get gassed. And whose fault is that? Are they not running enough in practice? That's probably not it. There's a level of size and toughness that they can't sustain over long terms. So you see the teams like Baltimore Ravens and the Chicago Bears start to expose their toughness, and even the Denver Broncos in the second half. Something happens in the second half, both adjustments made and just physical exhaustion that this defense can't keep up. That's partially injuries. That's partially personnel on Goody. That's partially putting your guys in the right spot if you're Jeff Hafley.
Listen, you got all these first-round picks that Goody has had, and the only first-round pick outside of Jordan Love, we know he's a stud. He's a star. But outside of Jordan Love, the second best first-round pick that you had was damn Matthew Golden yesterday, and that was his first time. Jordan Morgan didn't step up. Lucas Van Ness popped a little bit. Quay Walker was fine.
Actually, it looked like Jordan Morgan had a pretty good game. He only allowed one hurry.
Fine. He only allowed one hurry, but he still ain't the guy.
He's playing tackle.
Lucas Van Ness had a little bit. Quay Walker was. Devontae Wyatt ain't there. Eric Stokes ain't there. Rashawn Gary didn't show up. Darnell Savage ain't on the team. So way too many misses in a big moment. So you're talking about where are the guys that are stepping up? It sure ain't first-round picks for this Packers team. And y'all got to understand as well, when you were talking about, other teams and, talking about the game and, whether they're tired or not, I bet you there's a lot of coaches in the NFL that were looking at the Green Bay Packers this year, especially when they were going to Denver, where they're thinking this is a really good team. Like, we're going to have to bring it. Like, I know for a fact Denver said, hey, this is going to be the game. We're going to have to bring it in this game. So I just want us to take a step back and understand that perception around the league about the Packers were that they were a Super Bowl type team and that Jordan Love was playing at an elite level, okay? Injuries happen. Matt LaFleur was not good enough to get this team to win a game since Michael Parsons went down. Goody was not good enough to give this team enough depth to be able to step up and rise to the occasion so they can win another game. And so there's a lot of people that failed in this situation, but I don't think it's time to do a fire sale.
Let's go to Bill in Delavan. Our guy, Bill, what's going on? You're on the Carbos Talking text line, Bill.
Hi, guys. I'm going Team Kyle here. He and I are both optimists, as you know. And a little history lesson. 1993 and 4, we couldn't get past the Cowboys or the 49ers. 95, we finally caught up with them, got into a championship game. 96, we went all the way. This year, we passed up the Lions. Last year and this year, we've been playing right with the Eagles. I think we all agree at full strength there's not a team we can't beat. I don't think it's time to make a change. Don't think it's time to make a change and get a new system yet. And if you look at it, we went to Super Bowls 1 and 2. We went to 31 and 32. Why not go to 61 and 62?
All right, there's Bill. The history lesson.
There's the I like the optimist.
Yeah, Bill.
Oh, man, it's funny.
That's what I'm talking about.
What's that?
Well, I was talking about Bill, not the person that had on the Bear stuff.
Okay, you looked at him and pointed at him.
I love the optimism. I don't know if early to mid 90s is similar to what we're dealing with
right
here.
now. That's
because Mike Holmgren, it was his second year when he was referring to 1993. So they're still building. I think we maybe have
year
seen
4 with love.
Let's go from an optimist to a pessimist, Ron. The key, you're up on the Carbos Talking text line.
Fair. So here's the thing. Do you think the offensive line played well?
Not in the second half.
Second half, no.
I don't think they necessarily even played well in the first half. I think, what about this? What if it isn't that Matt LaFleur didn't show up in the second half? What if it's just amazing that he was able to do what he could with such a bad team in the first half?
So, Ron, why run long developing pass plays if your O-line is struggling, which they did?
But they connected on those. You guys had no problem with that the play calling didn't change. You guys had no problem with those play calls when they got 4 touchdowns and 0 interceptions.
But the Bears made adjustments.
The Bears did bring more guys.
Adjustments. They brought more pressure. So why not get the ball out quickly? And it's different. You have a huge lead. So you have to figure out how to sustain drives.
I'm not even saying that definitively I disagree with you that you could have done those things. I'm just saying in the end, players win. This whole, we want a more hard-nosed coach. Why did they get rid of your guy Coughlin, Brad? The same reason guys get people that don't when a hard-nosed guy stops to winning, then they want the players coach. When the players coach stops winning, then they want the other side. When the defensive coach doesn't win, they want the offensive coach. It's just a pendulum that swings back and forth.
All right, well, what's your solution, Mister? They're not good enough.
What there is the solution is only one team ever wins in the NFL, and unless you have somebody that you know is better, just live with it.
Just make nothing like somebody telling a fan who wants to do more with what they have just to live it. Just live with it. Just live with it. Be okay with blowing the 21-3 lead. Be okay with blowing the leads that they had. Be okay with the decision making it in 2020. Be okay with losing in 2021 with Aaron Rodgers as number 1 seed. Be okay with losing the de facto playoff game in 2022. 2023, no gripes. 2022, it's an okay season. Injury, little Jordan Love. This year, how did your team respond from a culture standpoint?
There's not a lot of coaches out there that have titles that are coaching, especially with the original team that they came with as well.
No, look, I hear you. I hear you.
But is this Titletown? I mean, seriously, are we just content? Can we just
say
the playoffs?
Titletown moniker came from when the team won all these world championships. No, this is not. In the last 30 years, we've only won.
So you're going away from the guy who wants to win a Super Bowl. You're complacent, Kyle.
I'm not complacent. I'm not complacent whatsoever. I'm just not ready to blow it completely up. There are circumstances that we have to put into the equation for us to be able to fully evaluate this team. If this team was healthy and this was the result, I would be the first one talking about boot his ass up out of Wisconsin. I would have said, don't even come home on the plane if Michael Parsons and Tucker Kraft and Zach Tom.
Do you think Matt LaFleur will win them a Super Bowl?
I believe Matt LaFleur can. I mean, I hope so. I can't speak with conviction with anything. Look at Kyle Shanahan out in San Francisco. 0 Super Bowl titles. He was on the sideline.
He has knocked on the door many times. That's not even close to the same thing.
But that's not winning.
League's difference between Shanahan and
that's not winning. I agree. Shanahan is a better coach than Matt LaFleur. But Matt LaFleur is in the realm of being a top 10 NFL coach. And so I'd rather have a top 10 NFL coach than a guy who I don't know what I'm going to get. Unless there's some hot up-and-coming guy from some explosive offense that I'm missing right now, then no, I don't want to move on from Matt LaFleur. There is no Ben Johnson out there this year. There is no Liam Cohen out there this year.
You need a home run.
We made fun of Duval, but the Tampa Bay Buccaneers scored a lot of touchdowns. They scored a lot of touchdowns. Baker Mayfield looked like an MVP-type candidate under Liam Cohen. Where is that guy at this year? If there's a guy out there, then sure, I'll take him. But right now, that just doesn't seem to be the case.
It's up to Ed Policy. We're all going to find out together. This will be interesting, and we'll go through it all together. We have 30 more minutes with you until the Homer Hour. Don't go anywhere. It's Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Hey, Gabe, also, did you call us idiots?
Yeah, it's exactly what I called you. Yes.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Westbound 894 is going to be slow out of the Mitchell interchange all the way past Loomis to about 58th or 51st Street. Then we've got southbound on the bypass, heavy from Beloit Road down into the Hale interchange. Westbound 94, watch for delays from about 25th Street all the way to about Mitchell Boulevard. On the eastbound side, seeing a little bit of a pocket of heavy traffic right past Barker Road, and then again from 84th Street almost to Hawley Road. Southbound 43 slow from North Avenue down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. Traffic is brought to you by the Milwaukee Bucks. This Thursday, you can buy one, get one free ticket to an upcoming Bucks home game, courtesy of ESPN Milwaukee. Tune in Thursday for details on how to get this limited ticket offer. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, increasing clouds, a low of 32. Then tomorrow, a slight chance for rain, partly cloudy skies with a high of 45. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Rick, tell Sarah about the practical joke you came up with.
Okay, Sarah, this is really great. Are you ready?
Rick, I'm always ready. I walk around in a constant state of readiness.
A man buys a woman a pair of diamond stud earrings from Kessler's.
So far, this doesn't sound like much of a practical joke. Be patient. He's not done yet.
And then on her birthday, or Valentine's Day, or Mother's Day, or Tuesday, he sneaks them out of her jewelry box and replaces them with a larger pair.
Well, as practical jokes go, this one sounds delightful, but it also sounds expensive. No, he bought them at Kessler's, remember?
When you buy diamond stud earrings from Kessler's,
And we have them for $180 to $24,000 a pair.
you always get 100% of the price you paid when you trade up for a larger pair.
He just pays the difference?
He just pays the difference.
I love practical jokes. When do I get my first pair? For the Kessler's nearest you, go to KesslersDiamonds.com.
Can you feel it? It's the thrill of witnessing a walk-off grand slam, a game-winning touchdown, a buzzer-beating 3. Yeah, you know the feeling. And there's only one place to experience that raw exhilaration. Potawatomi Sportsbook. Catch all the action in a supreme space with dozens of sports betting kiosks, cool drinks, luxe seating, great food, fiery atmosphere, and a monster video wall. Become a legend at Potawatomi Sportsbook. More info online. Must be 21 to enter casino.
When a trophy is raised, it can feel like the season's over, but on the ESPN app, it never really is. Because with more than 47,000 live events, plus originals, highlights, and coverage from every corner of the sports world, there's always something to dive into. No off-season, just everything a fan needs to keep going. Always in season, get all of ESPN all in one place. Download the ESPN app on your TV or phone today.
Hey, it's Gary Ellison for Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center. Looking to escape the cold or take a midday break? Get your game on at Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center, where it's always golf season. Play more than 2,000 courses, including over 50 right here in Wisconsin. And even that famous course where they hand out green jackets. Top tech simulators, great food, and the best Bloody Marys around. This is your year-round slice of summer. Bays start at just $35 an hour, Monday through Friday. Book your bay today at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
Did you forget the first day of school is this week and little Nancy still needs her name embroidered on her backpack? Or the company shirts are due now, not next week? Maybe the boss just declared Steve's retirement party is today and the shirts are mandatory? Whatever the rush. Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more in Mequon has got you covered. With fast turnarounds, no minimums, eco-friendly printing, and high-quality custom apparel, Big Frog brings your custom ideas to life fast. Stop by Big Frog in Mequon or visit bigfrog.com/Mequon. Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more, where your ideas leap to life.
This is Kyle Brust Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
It's official. I am with Grimal & Associates, and it has been an amazing process because it doesn't even feel like a process. Their customer service has been amazing, saving me money, better coverage, and have people that work in the greater Milwaukee area for you and with you. That's been my experience. So I have American Family Back service now, expert guidance, and the commitment to the people they serve. And when I've said those things, it's like, oh, that's intriguing. So I got coffee with Mandy, boom. Made so much sense with where I'm at, and I already feel better having it all in one place. American Family Insurance app. Got my coverages, home, auto, bundled, savings. They literally work with you with what you got. Grimal & Associates, check them out at teamgrimal.com. That's team, GRAMOLL.com. Kyle Brust Nortman will have Bryan Bulaga, the former Packer Super Bowl champ, join us coming up next. But I do want to take a listen back to a caller from earlier. We had Mickey from Orlando. Mickey was very direct.
No, he was a little disrespectful.
Well, we'll hear from Mickey in Orlando.
Hiya, pals. Look who's back. It's Matty Mouse. Matty Mouse is back in Green Bay. boy. Matty Mouse is going to get a new contract. Well-deserved after blowing a 21-3 lead in the playoffs. Oh, you know what's better than 21 points, kids? Not 1, but 4 punts in a row. Can you count to 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Good job. That's how you count to 4, which is also how many losses Matty Mouse had in the playoffs in his last 5 games. Math is fun. Good job, Matty Mouse. See ya, kids.
Miska, Muska, Matty Mouse. Kyle, still not having fun with that.
No, I'm not amused by it. My team just lost. My season's over. What I'm supposed to be happy?
Ricardo in Canada, you're on with KBN.
Oh, Canada.
Man, that was pretty disrespectful. You're gonna get banned one day from going to 1265 Left.
I already am.
Yeah, can I just? I'm right there with you, Ricardo. I don't stand behind that.
But listen, Kyle, I appreciate you and your passion. And you know I'm the biggest optimist. I'm green and gold until I'm 6 feet under. But man,
you're trying to give pink.
There's no way we can continue with Matt LaFleur. It's not how you lose. It's not that you lose. It's how you've lost, and it's a trend, and it's been more than once, and eventually it's who you are. It's run its course. It's literally just run its course.
Ricardo.
Don't give me this stuff about we're gonna get healthy next year. Listen. We had a team good enough to win this year. Don't give me that. Our quarterback is top 5. We have good wide receivers. The defense held them to 9 points until the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
so
but the defense wasn't going to be able to hold on enough to win a Super Bowl, Ricardo. This team wasn't winning a Super Bowl this year. You got to have horses.
I didn't need the defense to pitch shutouts. I needed them to get stops, and that's what they did. They got stops until eventually the offense decided to stop playing.
Yeah, I'm
in
with
the
you.
third quarter. Give me 6, 7 points, 8 points. Give me more than 1 3 and out, 2 3 and outs. Like enough is enough.
Give me drives longer than a minute.
And then not only that, it's the decision that were made. Everyone's talking about first round draft picks. Let's look back at this. Matthew Golden, probably the best player played Saturday. He only plays because Bo Melton's hurt. He only plays because Dontavius Brooks is hurt. If those guys are there, he's not playing. Whose decision is that? That's the coach. Jordan Morgan. Kick-ass right tackle. Kick-ass tackle. Better than Rasheed Walker. Why hasn't he been playing tackle for 2 years now? What are they watching? Let's put him at guard. And Anthony Belton has been fantastic at guard. He should have been playing from the beginning. Sean Ryan, he's a pretty good center. He's not world-class, but he's been pretty good. Why did we not think about this last year or 2 years ago? There's been decisions that have been made, personnel-wise. All these, how many times do we break the huddle with 10 seconds left, and then we're hiding the ball with 1 second left on the clock? How many times do we waste timeouts? That's all procedural. That's all coming from the top down. We had the players. Don't give me this crap. We're not going to be healthy come to playoffs. This is football. You're going to get hurt. And we had the depth. But guess what? Every team has weaknesses. Our quarterbacks are not the best in the world. I agree with that. But put up more than 6 points in the second half. You can't let up. Enough is enough of this crap.
I agree.
I think that's fair from Ricardo. Again, everyone has their chance to have their voice heard here on the Carbless Talking text line. Brad, you going to wash some of this stank off us?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to wash it off. And the only place to do that is at Tsunami Express. And a little dusting of snow over the weekend. It's more salt on the road. That means more salt on your car. Tsunami Express is here to give you that premier, top-of-the-line wash, T2 with graphene, the best wash package possible, and make you look good, make that car feel like you just drove it off the lot. And if you want to kick the tires, literally, on Tsunami Express's car wash, then you can be able to get a free championship-level car wash. That's right, absolutely free if you're a new member and you go to tsunamiexpress.com. You're going to be able to experience the car wash loaded with gloss, protection, all the extras, free vacuums and detailing tools, all for a free car wash if you are a new member at tsunamiexpress.com. You're going to love it so much, you're going to become a member like me. So you can go every single day for that unlimited car wash, all for one low monthly price. So if you want to get that car looking good and feeling good, go to Tsunami Express Car Wash, where you can wash, chill, repeat with Tsunami Express.
Bryan Bulaga, the Super Bowl champ, joins us. He played under Matt LaFleur. We'll get his perspective next.
This is Kyle Brust Nortman.
Oh, boy, hi. This is Mickey Mouse for my friend, Matty Mouse. You're listening to KBN on ESPN Wisconsin.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. All the antics.
The reason he's not running the ball real well this year is because his pants are way too high. Do you see him pull his pants up? Check it out.
All the action.
How do you have a delay a game after a timeout? How on God's green earth? It's almost like he's in over his head. You need better assistant coaches. I'm sorry.
The best of both worlds lives right here. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
4 years. That's enough time to earn a college degree, to serve a full term as a president, to train for something big and become someone new.
You bet, and get 0% interest for 4 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, so you can invest in your home and in life's biggest moments. With exclusive features and customizations, Pella offers the highest quality products at a price you can afford.
Aim high when setting your New Year's resolution, and imagine what you can do in 4 years when you finance your home project with Pella. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Strong mind, strong body, and strong communities. That is what you need to know about the Princeton Club, and that is what you can achieve at the Princeton Club of New Berlin. When you walk in there, you will feel completely motivated to better yourself just like everyone else is doing. I've done personal training. They have saunas. They have workout classes. They have basketball courts. They have indoor-outdoor swimming pools. It all starts with a tour. Check it out. You're going to fall in love. Free childcare with the membership, open 24/7. Check out the Princeton Club of New Berlin. Get your tour and take that small step to a bigger journey for a better tomorrow. That's at theprincetonclub.net.
My husband's an animal in bed.
Well, you know.
Not in the fun way. Think warthog. With a chainsaw.
Snoring and sleep apnea affect over 90 million people, and 1 out of 4 couples sleep in separate rooms. Advent can help. We've been Milwaukee's one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care under one roof. Advent's unique approach can help you breathe and sleep better, and many avoid a CPAP. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
Hey, the only animal you want in your bed is your dog.
Advent. Sleep better. Sleep together. Learn how you can improve your life at adventknows.com.
We know exactly what you're not thinking about right now. Wiper blades. But now that you are, take a moment to think about how Rain-X is the #1 brand of wiper blades in America. Why? Because Rain-X thinks about wiper blades all the time. We obsess, so you don't have to. Simply install our blades and then think about literally anything else. So choose Rain-X, America's #1 wiper blades, and then go back to not thinking about wiper blades. Rain-X. Outsmart the elements.
Let's go! You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Having a tough time paying your bills? Learn how to reduce your credit card debt to a fraction of what you owe. Call the Debt Helpline now for free advice. 800-329-9912. 800-329-9912.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after. An in-depth recap of every Bucks game. In 6 minutes. No more? No less. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. If you missed any of the game or just want to relive the biggest moments, Bucks in 6 provides game recaps every morning after. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis or the deep threes from Miles Turner. And catch the comments post-game about what happened on the court. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Bucks fans, you buy one ticket and ESPN Milwaukee buys the second one. That's the kind of math that we like. This Thursday only, grab Bucks buy one, get one tickets for select upcoming home games with seats starting as low as $20. Watch the Bucks take on some teams later in the month and in early February with this buy one, get one ticket offer, including games against the NBA champs Oklahoma City, Dallas, Chicago, and more. But hurry, the deal is Thursday. Tune in Thursday at ESPN Milwaukee for details on how you can score a buy one, get one ticket offer to an upcoming Bucks home game. Joining us now on Kyle, Brust Nortman is the Super Bowl champ, the former Packer, played under Matt LaFleur. Bryan Bulaga, what's going on?
Not much. How we doing, guys?
I will just toss it to you almost Homer style from a Green Bay game night post-game show standpoint. Bryan Bulaga's opening statement of everything that he saw against the Bears.
I mean, I saw a little bit of everything against the Bears, unfortunately, and it was the wrong game to see a little bit of everything, unfortunately, right? I mean, you saw a great dominant display, right? And I was actually shocked the display that we saw in the first half. I mean, it was remarkable how well they played, how well the offense looked, how well the defense looked, and then the second half. It's not that I come out and say that, oh, they didn't make any adjustments or this or that. I mean, why would you make adjustments, right? I mean, at that point in time, you don't make adjustments. You continue to go with what's working, and then you have to counter what their adjustments are, right? And I feel like right from an offensive standpoint, right when you saw the Bears come out in the second half, it was just pressure. Right, it was 5-6-man pressures. They were bringing run blitzes. They were bringing obviously pressures on passing, and the offensive line just couldn't handle it. The protection, they just couldn't pick up what Chicago was throwing at them. And when you stall out like that in the third quarter of a playoff game and continue to put your defense back on the field that quickly, something's going to give. Right, something is going to give, and it gave. And by that time, and I've said it so many times, and maybe people don't believe me on it, maybe you guys don't believe me on it, and that's okay. The minute things start to swing in a playoff game and a momentum shift like that, it's almost hard to gain it back when you're on the road. It's almost hard to get the momentum back in your favor. It's unlike regular season games where you can normally right the ship and things can get settled. Playoff games are different. The minute you start losing that momentum, things change. And it changed for them in the third quarter, probably the second drive in it, and they were never able to get it back. And from a special team standpoint, that's a kick in the gut every time one of those don't go in from a field goal. And the momentum just continues to tilt one way. And by the time we got to the middle of the fourth, I didn't have too much confidence that that game was going to be won.
Even after the touchdown. That's crazy. But Bryan,
even after the touchdown.
I do want to know, but so whose responsibility is it to stop the bleeding? Is that Matt LaFleur, or is that Jordan Love as the quarterback of that team, or whether it's Xavier McKinney on the defense? Whose responsibility is it for say, we got to stop this bleeding, we got to make a play?
Yeah, I mean, well, it comes to make the plays, it's the players, right? I mean, and the coach's job is to put them in the spots to make those. And I think you could pass the blame around to everyone in this one, right? This isn't a one person blame game here. I think this goes to all of them, right? Because if you're just going to place the blame on the coach, that's okay. If that's the way you want to go, and that seems like that's the way a lot of people are wanting to go, that's fine. But then we're excusing what actually takes place on the field. Then we're excusing that, and we're saying that's okay. That was fine. They're they were playing the same way. It's just they didn't get put in certain spots. And I don't know if that's completely true. When you talk about picking up pressures, I'll stay in my lane. When you talk about picking up pressures, what Chicago was throwing at them in that third quarter, the offensive line has to figure that out. And the quarterback, when they're up there, they need to start diagnosing that. And after the first series, when you start seeing that the pressure is ramped up, I mean, they were pressuring almost every other play. You need to figure that out as a group. And they did not figure that out as a group. Listen, there's only so many protections in a game, like in an offensive scheme. It's 2-jet, 3-jet, scat. Then there's some 7-man protections. Like, the blocking schemes aren't changing. Like that, I mean, it's not like this is getting crazy here, but you have to figure that out as the guys that are playing. Like, you have to figure things out based on your rules and pick up the protections based on what you see from the defense. And I'm going to be honest with you. When you're breaking the huddle at 10 seconds, you don't have time to evaluate that defense and make proper line calls, and you don't have it. Like, as well as Sean Ryan has played, which I think he has, I think he's played well. it's hard to put that pressure on the center that hasn't been doing it for as long as guys that I got to play with, like Wells and Corey, that can identify things really quick. And then obviously the quarterback has to stamp it, confirm it, and doing that in 12 seconds on the road when no one can hear, you're not going to identify it quickly. And that, to me, like, it kept showing up, breaking the huddle late, getting up to the line. It seemed very, like, I was screaming at my TV, like, get to the line, like over and over and over again, because if you can't pick up pressures, if you're struggling with it, you need to give your quarterback more time at the line so he can diagnose it and go through a cadence and see if he can get a tip here or a tip there and then readjust the group. It's not like, oh, Matt should have changed the protection scheme. There's no such thing as changing the protection scheme. The protections are the protections, and there's rules off the protections that the guys up front and the quarterback have to figure out during the game. It's a test, and you have to ace the test. And they didn't ace the test when Chicago started ramping up the heat in the second half. That's really the best way I can put it, because the guys on the field have to figure that thing out. They just do. Like, oh, what do you want us to go now to 8-man protections and run 2 guys out in routes? Like, yeah, that's really going to go well. That'll be fun. That won't, we'll really complete a bunch of balls doing that. No, you can't do that. It's 5- and 6-man protections, 7-man when it's play action and certain things like that. But you couldn't run the ball, so play action is not going to work either. So there's only so many things you can do from a coaching standpoint when you're calling passes in. But
Bryan,
now I'm just ranting.
Aren't there plays that Matt LaFleur can utilize that purposely counteract pressure? Because you said you saw it earlier. Did he run those, and do those plays exist?
I mean, the plays. I mean, so to counteract pressure, there's certain things you could do. I mean, he did one. They ran a screen to the to Kennard. I mean, that's a way to kill pressure, is to run screens. I don't know why they ran it to Kennard. I don't. That kind of confuses me.
He was rumbling and stumbling, boy, like trucking people.
He was. But the way to do that is to get the ball out in a timely, like, quick shots over the middle when pressure's brought, and get guys into certain seams and holes and things like that. And it wasn't available. It just wasn't. Like, Chicago did a really good job disguising it, showing 7-man pressures, dropping out into those lanes, and they took a lot of things away. I mean, Dennis Allen did a great job. Mm-hmm. And all you had to do was burn them a couple times on it. If you burnt them a couple times on it, they would have gotten out of it completely. But they were never able to burn them a few times to scare them out of pressures. And when you can't do that, they're just going to keep doing it and doing it and doing it. And that was what they did in the second half, and it worked really well.
Real quick, Bryan, would you understand if Ed Policy decided to move on from Matt LaFleur?
Listen, not really.
That's fair. Yeah, I just want to know your perspective. I'm sure we'll get more with you and Homer, and that's what's coming up next in 2 minutes. We appreciate you.